It's time for Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network and the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Wolverine Football is also brought to you by the Triangle Bar and Grill, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, the law offices of Owen Seaman, LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, Fox's Pizza Den in Turtle Creek, Bush Brothers Car Care, LG3 Entertainment, Web Landings, and A-Boss Opticians. Now it's time for the Woodland Hills Football Network pregame show.
A pleasant good evening and welcome to Upper St. Clair High School Stadium in Upper St. Clair, Pennsylvania. Adam Gusky and Eric Shuley up here in the broadcast booth. Down on the field, we've got Vince Russo as the Woodland Hills Wolverines take on the Upper St. Clair Panthers in a WPIAL 5A conference matchup. Woodland Hills on the season 0-3, 0-2 within conference play. Meanwhile, Upper St. Clair 2-1 on the year, 1-1 within conference play. A week ago, the Wolverines lost at home to Peters Township 26-0. Meanwhile, the Panthers beat the Baldwin Highlanders 35-21 right here in this stadium 1 week ago. We thank you for joining us. We're going to step away for a couple of minutes, and when we return, Eric Shuley will give us his pregame analysis, and we'll hear from Vince Russo down on the field as the Woodland Hills Football Network pregame show rolls on the Woodland Hills Football Network and the Trib Live High School Sports Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com. The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale has recently been named among the 33 best sandwich shops in America. But folks in the Woodland Hills communities have known that for over 80 years. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're sure to love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now. Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home has been serving families in the Woodland Hills community since 1905 and is a member of the Hall of Excellence of the National Funeral Directors Association. Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home now offers crematory services at their Turtle Creek location. Families choosing cremation can have added peace of mind, knowing that their loved one never leaves the care of Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home. For nearly 115 years, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home has been honored to serve local families and to be a proud partner of the Woodland Hills communities. Woodland Hills football is brought to you in part by the law offices of Owen Seaman. Owen is a Woodland Hills alumnus who studied law at Duquesne University and has been practicing law in the Pittsburgh area for over 15 years. Attorney Owen Seaman's experience encompasses virtually every facet of criminal defense. If you find yourself in need of criminal defense representation, call Owen at 412-721-0412 or visit owenthelawyer.com.
Excella Health wants to know, how can we help you today? Can we help you find a doctor? Schedule a same-day appointment. Choose just the right service for your health concern? As your healthcare partner, Excella offers hundreds of primary care and specialty doctors, along with outpatient testing, rehab, and nationally recognized heart care, surgery, and orthopedics. To learn more, visit excellahealth.org or call 1-877-771-1234.
Tired of a dirty car? Mr. Magic Car Wash will have your vehicle looking new again in just minutes, even those tough-to-clean wheels. Try us out at any one of our 5 convenient South Hills locations for a car wash you won't soon forget.
Mr. Magic Car Wash. Clean, shiny, and dry every time.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
And we welcome you back to Upper St. Clair Stadium on the campus of Upper St. Clair High School. Here in Upper St. Clair, Pennsylvania, Adam Gusky alongside Eric Shuley. Also down on the field, we've got Vince Russo. And Eric, Wolverines come into this game 0-3 and a game away from going 0-4 for the second season in a row.
Unfortunately, just like last year, Adam, the Wolverines always have a tough matchup against Upper St. Clair. Since 2005, the Wolverines 7-3 against them. Last year, just a tough loss, 16-14 at the Wolverina. They've done well here, though, at Upper St. Clair, so hopefully they can continue that tonight.
We're going to send it down to the field where Vince Russo is going to give us his analysis from field level.
Thanks, guys. Good to be down here. Beautiful night for some football, but a lot of wind down here. If you look at the flags, you can see anything behind me. It's really picked up at different points. And so as I talk about some of the keys for each team tonight and getting a player involved, keep in mind that wind's going to make things difficult. So on the USC side, the Panthers look at the wide receiver position. Junior David Pantillis coming off a 4-reception, 142-yard game, including an 87-yard touchdown. On the other side, we've talked about this Woodland Hills offense the last couple weeks and its inability to really get a whole lot of traction. That passing game is going to be key. Josh Rawlings does not yet touch the ball on offense, and he is a major threat. The #1 tight end prospect in the state, as we all know, headed to the University of Virginia. We'll see if they can finally get him involved in the offense tonight, but don't hold your breath, at least through the passing game, because the wind is pretty fierce down here, guys.
Well, Eric, as we take a look at this game, we really have to look in the rearview mirror and look at last week's game against the Peters Township Indians. A tough go of it for the Wolverines, where Woodland Hills lost 26-0. Couldn't get much going offensively, just a couple of flashes from Williams, and other than that, it was really a stagnant offensive performance.
Yeah, the Wolverines have struggled all year so far on offense, but hopefully they can turn things around tonight, maybe get some linemen back and be able to run the ball efficiently. That will go a long way if they can do that tonight.
We are moments away from kickoff, so we're going to step away one final time here in the pregame show, and when we return, we will get you set for kickoff down on the field here at Upper St. Clair High School. For Eric Shuley, Vince Russo, we thank you for joining us for the Woodland Hills Football Network pregame show. We'll be back in a minute. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Panthers on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Thanks for tuning in to the pregame show on the Woodland Hills Football Network and the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Woodland Hills Football is presented by State Senator Jay Costa. Wolverine Football is also brought to you by the Triangle Bar and Grill, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, the law offices of Owen Seaman, LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, Fox's Pizza Den in Turtle Creek, Bush Brothers Car Care, LG3 Entertainment, Web Landings, and A-Boss Opticians. Now it's time for kickoff.
Moments away from kickoff here in Upper St. Clair, Pennsylvania. A brand new press facility as they continue to renovate the press box and high school here at Upper St. Clair. And we have a different vantage point as we usually were here at Upper St. Clair. We were on the visitors' side. That's where the press box was, much like it is at the Wolverina, but they've built a building, a big building that's going to encompass athletic offices as well as a large group instructional area and many other areas. So we are up here in this brand new facility, still under construction, but we're able to be up here and bring you the game here in Upper St. Clair. We'll take a look at the field where on the near sideline are the Upper St. Clair Panthers. They wear their home black jerseys with the white pants. White numerals on the backs and fronts and red numerals on the shoulders, and all black helmets, no logos at all on their flat black helmets, while on the far sideline the Woodland Hills Wolverines wear their all road whites. White jerseys, white pants, turquoise numerals with the black trim, and the turquoise helmets with those menacing black ears and stripes. And let's hope it's more menacing than it's been thus far this season, as the Wolverines have struggled mightily offensively and done their best on the defensive side of the football. Eric Shuley.
Yeah, there have been some good things defensively, Adam, absolutely. And right off the bat, you see out there for the coin toss, number 76, Jeremy Thomas, a starting tackle for the Wolverines. He has not played yet this year, and he's been a big part of that offensive line the past few years. So to get him back tonight, that's already a good sign for Woodland Hills, because we know Woodland Hills loves to run that ball. and you know William Clark is going to be behind Jeremy Thomas tonight.
Talked about it already. Woodland Hills 0-3 on the season, 0-2 within conference play, losing in week 1 at home to Bethel Park, and then week 2 last week, the Wolverines lost 26-0 against Peters Township, the third of 3 straight home games for the Wolverines after Woodland Hills lost in the first week of the season to a Catholic school out of Maryland, Calvert Hall, the ultimate game of the WPIAL versus Everyone High School Football Showcase. Woodland Hills won the toss. They defer, and Upper St. Clair will receive. The Wolverines will defend the scoreboard end zone to our left-hand side. Again, Woodland Hills on the sideline to the far boundary, while Upper St. Clair along the near side. I want to thank you for joining us no matter where you are, whether you're on the Trib Live High School Sports Network, our Facebook page, any of our television affiliates, or tuned in on our brand new WHFN mobile app. And if you want to get the app, go to the Google Play Store or the Apple Store, and you can get yourself the app at WHFN. Search the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store for that WHFN app.
Great way to follow the Wolverines all year long.
And we've got more information than just the live broadcast on our brand new mobile app. Back deep for Upper St. Clair will be David Pantelis, a very familiar name for Upper St. Clair.
Pantelis, a very, very, very favorite target of Ethan Dahlem for Upper St. Clair. 17 receptions on the year for Pantelis for 347 total yards. Last week, as Vince mentioned, that 87-yard touchdown pass to Pantelis from Dahlem.
Michael James will kick off for the Wolverines. He gets the signal from the referee. And we are underway in Upper St. Clair, PA. End-over-end kick carries inside the 5 down to the 2-yard line, where Pantelis will be on the return for Upper St. Clair. He is tripped up right around the 12-yard line, but has enough momentum to carry him out towards the 20, where Gavin Yarborough will be credited with the tackle. Let's send it down to the field, where Vince Russo has a bit more insight on this matchup.
Thanks so much, guys. Just a quick note on the history between these two teams. Woodland Hills has won 4 of the 7 matchups in this decade, including 4 of the last 5. We'll see if the history is on their side again tonight. We'll see if they're able to get it started here on the defensive end. Back up to you guys.
So Upper St. Clair in the pistol to begin this football game. Pass to the near side. It's complete to Yarborough, to Pantelis, who slides through the first row of tacklers. Then the second, stiff arm down the near boundary, and finally steps on the near sideline near the 30-yard line. And that pass to Pantelis turns the field quickly for the Panthers.
Yeah, just some sloppy tackling already there by the Wolverines. Yeah, you got to be able to contain Pantelis, and there he just avoids a few Wolverines getting down the field for a huge play, and they're going up tempo.
Dahlem in the pistol, hands off. Up the middle goes Jaden Keating, where he's stacked up by a host of Wolverines. Down at the bottom of the pile for Woody High is Rodney Stubbs, the linebacker, also in on the tackle, Antoine Meredith. And the sticks are finally set, and it's 2nd down and 8 for the Panthers as they go into the shotgun. Slot man motions from left to right, takes the shovel pass, gets hit right at the line of scrimmage, but has enough strength to push his way forward. And Gavin Johnson brought down by Meredith for a gain of about 2, and that brings up 3rd down and 6 from the 26.
Brings up a 3rd and 6 for the Panthers.
Pistol again for the Panthers. Down the middle, down the seam. The pass intended for Pantelis is incomplete as Dahlem was looking for his favorite target down the middle of the field. And that brings up 4th down and 6 from the 26-yard line. And Upper St. Clair looks like they're going to keep their offense on the field, at least for now.
Yeah, Pantelis was able to get some separation there. Good thing that ball was overthrown by Dahlem, because Pantelis would have been able to grab that, no doubt.
Play clock down to about 15, as this is a very, very long play clock for Upper St. Clair to work with after that incomplete pass. The ball was set late. Dahlem sends a man in motion from left to right, sending 3 to the right of the formation. Now he feels pressure. He's wrapped. He's sacked. It's a turnover on downs. It'll be Woody High football at the 32.
Great job by the Woodland Hills defense there. One thing I noticed in watching Upper St. Clair's game last week against Baldwin was Dahlem does not handle pressure very well. If you send 6 6 men on defense after him on a blitz. Unless he's able to find a little place to get out, if you can contain him, you can take him down easily. He gets flustered quickly back there in his first year at starting quarterback for Upper St. Clair.
Speaking of starting quarterbacks, Jeffrey Williams again gets the start at QB for Woody High, the athletic southpaw. 6 feet tall, 168-pound senior. Woodland Hills out of the huddle, and they will send receivers 2 to the near side right, 1 to the far boundary left, 1 back set. Motion man from right to left. And the Wolverines going to run the counter coming to the near side, and a big crease and a nice hole for William Clark, who carries the ball out across the 45 to the 48-yard line. A pickup on that play of 16 yards, make it 15 to the 47. It'll be 1st and 10 for Woody High there.
Possibly already seeing 2 linemen back affecting things for the Wolverines in a positive way. DeJuan Howes and Jeremy Thomas, 2 senior starting linemen for the Wolverines, already helping to clear the way for William Clark.
Woodland Hills now with an eye backfield, sending 2 receivers to the left of the formation, tight end to the right. Long handoff and another crease for Clark inside of Panthers territory to the 49-yard line, where he's bucked to the turf by a couple of black jerseys. Down at the bottom of the pile, Joseph Lackner for Upper St. Clair.
Yeah, another guy you're going to have to watch on the defensive side of the ball for the Upper St. Clair Panthers. Brandon Shearer, leading tackler for Upper St. Clair. He's in on almost every play there in the middle for the Panthers.
So 2nd and 6 for Woodland Hills at the 49. The line to gain is the 43 inside of Panthers territory. Again, an eye backfield as the handoff will go to Clark, and he will spin his way forward, absorbing contact, and finally brought down at the 46-yard line. A pickup of 3, tackle on the play by Luke Banbury.
Yeah, nice little spin move by Clark there, shedding a tackler, able to make something out of nothing. Looked like he may get stopped for no gain, but as we know, William Clark always running hard, always moving those legs.
Williams gets the play from head coach Tim Bostard along the far sideline. Tim Bostard, the head man at Woodland Hills since George Novak's retirement. Eye backfield. Williams calls out signals as he splits receivers to either side and a tight end to the left. Handoff again, Clark. Crease over left tackle, bounces off of tacklers, and he reaches that ball forward. It's enough for another Woodland Hills 1st down to the 42-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Woody High. He needed 3, he got 4.
A tough ground game working so far for the Wolverines. That's what we like to see with a couple linemen back, as I mentioned. Key pieces for Woodland Hills.
High backfield again behind Williams. Blitz here as the snap is fumbled, and there's a pileup for the football. Upper St. Clair says they have it, and if so, it's a costly turnover for Woodland Hills as the quarterback-center exchange goes awry, and the Wolverines turn it over.
Yeah, you know, some struggles last week for Woodland Hills there as Jameer Ulmer came in the second half to play. Started last year at center, hadn't played the whole year until the second half of the game last week. There were some problems with the snap, and here we see still there have been some issues for Ulmer.
So Upper St. Clair with their 2nd possession. After they turned it over on downs, the Wolverines turn it over on a fumbled quarterback-center exchange. So the Panthers will start this drive at the 42-yard line. Twins to either side, pistol formation for Dahlem. Catches the snap, looks to his right, throws across the middle, instead finds a wide open receiver in Pantelis, who runs to the far boundary, stiff arms a D-back, and into the end zone he will go. And 1 play later, the Panthers turn a turnover into 6 points.
Yeah, it's absolute last thing you want to see if you're Woodland Hills. You know, you have to key in on Pantelis. That you got to know that maybe you need to double cover him a little bit tonight. Dahlem loves to throw him the ball, especially over the middle. Wolverines has been susceptible to the throw over the middle all year long, and Pantelis and the Panthers make the Wolverines pay for that turnover.
Echeverria on to attempt the PAT. The Wolverines nearly get a hold of it, but they do not, and it splits the uprights good. And with 8:13 to play in the first quarter, Upper St. Clair seizes the lead 7-0 on Woodland Hills. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Panthers on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
A 58-yard touchdown pass for the Upper St. Clair Panthers as they take advantage of a Woodland Hills turnover and turn it into 7 points. Let's send it down to the field where Vince Russo, you had a good look at a different angle than we did on that play.
Thanks again, guys. Yeah, William Clark, who is in coverage there, lost his shoe. You know, a lot of times we talk about ankle breakers. We talk about losing your footing here on this turf. He literally lost his shoe. So even though he was about a step behind, it influenced his ability to make the tackle as he lost his cleat.
So Woodland Hills down 7-zip, 8:13 to play here in quarter number 1 as an end-over-end kick will carry to the far boundary and stay inbounds and bounce into the hands of a return man over on that far side where it's scooped up by Taylon Brooks, and Brooks will be brought down as he crosses the 20 out towards the 22, where it'll be 1st and 10 for Woody High.
Tough break for Woodland Hills there. You're thinking that ball's definitely going to go out of bounds, and the Wolverines would have had much better field position, but you know, some good parts happened on that first offensive drive for Woodland Hills other than the fumbles. Hopefully they can continue that and shake that fumble off quick.
We'll see if Woodland Hills continues to go to the ground game, as it worked very well on that first drive, and obviously the ground game had no impact on the fact that there was that fumble. Woodland Hills now in the pistol with a back behind Williams and twins to the right. Delay handoff. Clark, big crease up the gut. He'll be met after picking up a handful of yards. He's dumped to the turf. Tackle on the play by Ethan Heister. And Heister on the tackle after a gain of 5 brings up 2nd down and 5.
Yeah, going to the pistol there, staying away from under center maybe. That's where Omer is having the majority of his problems on his exchange with Williams.
So again, the pistol with twins to the right, one receiver to the short side left. Some movement up front. Looks like the left guard for the Wolverines moved early. And a false start against Woodland Hills is going to push them back 5 yards. And that brings up 2nd down and 10 after the gain of 5 on the first play.
Yeah, the penalty is something that absolutely have killed the Wolverines so far this year, and especially in this matchup last year with the Panthers at the Wolverina. The Panthers did not score any offensive points in that game. They all came from the defensive side of the ball.
Woodland Hills in the shotgun this time, 2 to the far side, 2 to the near side right as Williams takes a couple of steps to his left. Now he'll throw it deep down the field. The receiver has a step, and it is caught by Tarek Scipio, and Scipio is off to the races and into the end zone for a Woodland Hills touchdown, covering 78 yards.
Just way to fight back by the Wolverines. Jeffrey Williams looking so poised back there in the pocket, rolls out just a little bit and is able to make that throw. Strong arm from Williams, the lefty, and Tariq Scipio. Just a great job to pull that ball in, and David Pantelis on coverage there for the Panthers, and Tariq Scipio gets the TD.
Yeah, great speed there by Scipio. He got the separation. He caught the ball over his shoulder, and he was off to the races, getting separation a 2nd time around the 20 and into the end zone after that beautiful pass from Jeffrey Williams. He felt pressure, stepped to his left, and heave-hoed it across midfield and made the connection with Scipio. Gavin Moore, the kicker, and the kick is up and good, and we're tied at 7 apiece with 7:03 to play in the first quarter. High-scoring affair thus far. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Panthers on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale has recently been named among the 33 best sandwich shops in America. But folks in the Woodland Hills communities have known that for over 80 years. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're sure to love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back it up for St. Clair with the Wolverines. Tie the game at 7 apiece on a 78-yard touchdown pass from Jeffrey Williams to Tariq Scipio. The 6-foot junior caught that one and was off to the races, and most impressively, he was behind Pantelis. And not only was he behind Pantelis caught up to him at the 30, and then he showed the speed to separate, coming from that far numbers all the way inside of the hash and into the end zone.
Yeah, not an easy thing to do, to break away from an athletic guy like David Pantelis.
Gavin Moore will kick it off for Woody High, and this end-over-end kick carries to the far boundary, and it'll bounce into the hands of the return man. And it's Pantelis on the return, and he slides through the first tackler and then is brought down as he crosses the 15 out to the 17, and there's a flag down over on that far boundary.
Brought down by number 11, Gavin Yarbrough.
So the penalty against the Panthers. So it's an illegal block in the back against Upper St. Clair. It'll be half the distance to the goal, and it's going to back them up from around the 16 to about the 8. It's a long field to work with for the Panthers. As we are tied at 7 apiece, the Panthers' first drive into Woodland Hills territory, then they turned it over on downs at their own 32. Woodland Hills drove the ball into Panthers territory to the 42, and then they turned the ball over on a fumbled snap. And then Upper St. Clair took immediate advantage, and the Wolverines a couple of plays later did the same as they took a pass from Williams to Scipio to the house. Trips to the left, one receiver to the far boundary right. Dahlem looks down the middle and again finds a receiver. This passing game working well for Upper St. Clair as the receiver, Brandon Shearer, finally brought down near midfield, and the Panthers turn the field very quickly, and a flag will come in very late as well.
Yeah, if the Wolverines don't do anything about that, if they're going to do that all day, Dahlem almost overthrew that ball. Shearer made a great one-handed grab, but the Wolverines have to figure something out, get a safety there, get some coverage there in the middle, or else they're going to get picked apart.
That's a sideline warning against Upper St. Clair. The official on the near sideline got contacted, and so that'll be the lone warning the Panthers get on the near boundary. Another contact to the official by the guys on the near side. It'll be a penalty against the Panthers. Dahlem in the pistol, twins to either side. And some movement. Looked like the tailback moved early. And a false start against the Panthers is going to back them up 5 yards. So penalties on 3 straight plays against Upper St. Clair. One that was just a warning, the other 2 a block in the back on the kick return, and then that, the 5-yard penalty for the false start. Two receivers to the right, 2 to the near side left. Dahlem looks to the near sideline, gets the play. Play clock down to 10. On first down and 15, and again a flag will come in, and going to send it down to the field. Vince Russo, a little insight on why the Panthers may be committing these penalties early on here.
Thanks again, Adam. Yeah, only 3 returning starters for the Panthers this year. They lost a lot of talent from a team that went 8-3, 5-2 in section last year, so they're still working through some of those kinks, Adam.
Well, right now, the Kinks have backed them up to first down and 20 at the 38-yard line. The ball at the 38 as the Panthers going to have to break down the play, and Dahlem runs to the near side and is able to release the football before stepping out of bounds. Found a receiver on the near sideline, and Joseph Lackner, and Lackner gets shouldered out of bounds inside of Woodland Hills territory at the 49-yard line. So a nice pickup on that play for the Panthers, brings the ball into Woodland Hills territory and makes it a second and much more manageable 7.
Yeah, pass rushers doing their job, Adam, but the secondary needs to hold strong here, and they cannot let things like that happen.
Again, the pistol, and again the play action forces the Wolverines to bite on it, and the ball is bobbled and then pulled in by Brandon Shearer, and he will finally be hauled down by Eshawn Carter, but not before he carries the ball down to the 11-yard line, where it'll be first down and 10 for Upper St. Clair.
Yeah, nothing complex about this at all. It's just Upper St. Clair noticing there's no safety back for Woodland Hills, and they get the receivers are able to get separation, slip right up the seam, and nobody's there.
Yeah, Carter, the safety, looks like he may have bitten on the play action on that particular play, and that allowed the big back, Gavin Johnson, to get some room down the middle. and bring that ball down towards the 10-yard line on the first play down near the goal line. It's a 1st and 10 at the 12, and the ball carrier, Deshaun Rivers, is undercut at the line of scrimmage, bringing up 2nd down and 11 from just shy of the 12. Trips right, one receiver to the near side left, one back set as Rivers dots the pistol behind, or Keating rather dots the pistol behind Dahlem. Snap high, Dahlem gathers it in though, feels the pressure, runs to his left, steps forward, gets hit, the ball comes loose. They'll say that Dahlem is down before Meredith had punched the ball loose. A gain of 1 brings up 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, Dahlem rushing over on the year over 200 yards on the ground through the first 3 games. So he's not afraid to step up in that pocket and roll if he has to. He's got the legs to do it.
Panthers calling in signals as 2 receivers to the short side left, 2 to the wide side right as the ball's on the left hash. Dahlem catches the snap, looks to his left, finds a receiver open in the flat. Again, it's the big guy, Brandon Shearer, who carries it into the end zone for an 11-yard touchdown reception, and Upper St. Clair reclaims the lead, 13-7.
Yeah, secondary's got some big issues right now, Adam. Woodland Hills secondary just can't stop anything right now, and it's frustrating to see that because Dahlem was not that crisp last week against Baldwin, and you could see where he struggled, and Wolverines are just letting the Panthers have their way with the ball in the air right now.
And the PAT feigns to the right, but does get inside of the right upright for Jorge Echeverria. And with 4 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the first quarter, it's Upper St. Clair 14, Woodland Hills 7. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Panthers on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Life has its ups and downs. There are times when you or a loved one needs help. That's why you should know the name LGAR, Health and Rehabilitation Center. Located just minutes from the Monroeville Mall, the LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center has been known by locals for many years, and they excel in reputation, rehabilitation, recuperation, and residential living. The help and answers you need are just a phone call away at 412-825-9000. Also on the web at lgar.org. LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, a name you should know and a name you can trust.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
End over end kick by Echeverria, caught by the Wolverines at the 20-yard line, and down the far sideline goes the Woodland Hills return man Taylon Brooks. He'll be shouldered out of bounds near the 40-yard line, where Woodland Hills will start this drive with good field position. It is 14-7 Upper St. Clair on top of Woody High as the Panthers scored on an 11-yard touchdown pass. Again, quarterback Dahlem finds the receiver Brandon Shearer, and Shearer with the touchdown gives the Panthers the lead back.
Yeah, Wolverines lost a lot of pieces in that secondary from last year, so you can tell that they're still struggling now the 4th game into the year to cover the pass.
Motion man from left to right as Williams is going to hand off to the setback Clark, who spins past the first tackler and is brought down as he crosses the 45 out to the 46-yard line. Bottom of the pile, Brandon Shearer, who's making his presence known on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, the Wolverines are more comfortable running the ball, so that's something they're going to have to be able to do efficiently. That touchdown pass was fantastic, but how Woodland Hills likes to do things. They're going to want to keep the ball on the ground, so hopefully the offensive line is able to make that possible tonight for Woody High.
3.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. 21 points scored thus far, 14 by the Panthers, 7 by the Wolverines as Williams is in the shotgun. He's going to keep it himself running to the left-hand side. He's got the first down and more inside of the 40, inside of the 35, where he's finally brought down by a Panther. Jaden Keating makes the tackle at the 33-yard line.
Love it from the Wolverines right there. Jeffrey Williams, so dangerous when he has that ball. Upper St. Clair not expecting that at all. You could see how Jeffrey Williams was able to find a hole from his lineman and really, really accelerate up the middle, and a nice big game for Woody High.
It's kind of plays you have to pull out from the old playbook from the Vondre Griffin days, and from before that, the days of Steve Breston, when you've got an athletic quarterback like Jeffrey Williams. Williams looking to the near side right, throws to the near side right, finds a receiver in Armani Bailey, who carries the ball inside of the 30 to the 25-yard line, where he's brought down by a host of Panthers. Leading the charge for USC is Joseph Lackner, and a pickup on that play of 8 yards brings up second down and a very manageable 2.
Armani Bailey, the shifty, speedy junior for the Wolverines. It's great to get him involved. Quick release from Williams there. Nice catch by Bailey, and putting the Wolverines in a nice second down and manageable.
Trips to the left, one receiver to the near side right. The Wolverines run the counter to the short side, and Clark finds a crease inside of the 15, where he's brought down at the 14-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle by Shearer. Had he not made the ankle tackle there, it would have been 6 for Woody High.
Yeah, it's great run by William Clark there. Almost was able to break it in the end zone. Just had one man to beat, but a nice tackle from the Panthers. Now Wolverines knocking on the door here at the 14-yard line as the looks like a timeout here.
Yeah, the Panthers are going to take a timeout, so we will too. We'll step away with 2:08 to play in the first quarter. It's Upper St. Clair 14, Woodland Hills 7, but the Wolverines threat. You're tuned in to the Wolverines and the Panthers on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Bush Brothers Car Care Center in Swissvale has been a Monongahela Avenue institution for 4 decades. Bush Brothers is a full-service mechanic and tire shop for all types of vehicles. Whether you need mechanical work, an alignment, state inspection and emissions testing, new tires, or just an oil change, Bush Brothers is the place for you. Bush Brothers Car Care Center, Monongahela Avenue in Swissvale, or give Martin and Jason a call at 412-351-5342.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back at Upper St. Clair High School, where Woodland Hills trails Upper St. Clair 14-7, but the Wolverines threatening here, first down and 10 at the 14-yard line of the Upper St. Clair Panthers. First play from scrimmage on 1st and 10 from the 14 is a handoff, and the ball will go to Clark, who shimmies his way forward inside of the 15 down to the 12-yard line, so a pickup of 2 brings up second down and 8.
Yeah, Panthers stacking that box there. They had a good feeling. They knew what was coming there. Now I think will be a really, really good time. Even though they're running the ball efficiently, maybe try and go to Josh Rawlings here. Use his height to look at that secondary. And while they have some height, they don't have anything that can match up to Josh Rawlings.
Rawlings will set to the left of the formation as the tight end. One receiver to the near side right, 2 to the far boundary left. Snap to Williams as he runs to the left-hand side. Feels the pressure, steps forward, inside of the 10, inside of the 5 as he runs over a Panther. He will be into the end zone for a Woodland Hills touchdown.
Great run. So much physicality in that run there by Jeffrey Williams. He didn't have much. Looked like maybe the bad snap. I don't know if that was designed or if he just took that off the bad snap himself and decided to take it and run with it. But just he had a few blockers there and just a great job at the end there by bulling his way into the end zone past a few Panthers.
Yeah, he slid past tacklers and then ran through the last one, and had he not gone into the end zone, at least it would have been 1st and goal to 1, but they'll give him the TD nonetheless. And Woody High, a PAT away from tying this football game off the foot of Gavin Moore. And the PAT is good, and with 1:18 to play in the first quarter, it is Woodland Hills 14, Upper St. Clair 14. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Panthers on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Fox's Pizza Den in Turtle Creek is the official pizza of the Wolverina and has been a family tradition since 1971. Fox's Pizza also features tasty appetizers, fresh salads, as well as mouth-watering hoagies and sandwiches. Fox's Pizza in Turtle Creek is conveniently located in Penn Plaza, so stop in to pick up lunch or dinner or call to place your delivery order now at 412-823-9960. From our den to your den, it's Fox's Pizza Den in Turtle Creek.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
An 11-yard touchdown run for Jeffrey Williams, making a 12-yard touchdown jaunt for Williams as he ran to the left-hand side. It appeared to be a designed run because the Wolverines had blockers downfield, and Williams showed a little bit of everything. Some elusiveness, some speed, and then some strength as he was able to run through the final tackler, Capello, down at the 2-yard line and into the end zone he went. PAT up and in for more, and we're tied at 14 apiece. As Moore's end-over-end kick will carry through the hands of the return man, Pantelis, and he will be wrapped and brought down as he crosses the 10 out towards the 12-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for USC.
Yeah, we'll see if the Wolverines made some adjustments on defense. That's been the story so far. Over the middle, the Wolverines have not been able to cover anything. Overall, they've had trouble just on the pass in general, but especially over the middle. Dahlum's had just enough time to be able to pass that ball, get rid of that ball before the Wolverines pass rush can get to him. And they've been doing a pretty decent job tonight, Adam.
So the Panthers go straight from the sideline to the line of scrimmage, where the quarterback, Dahlum, will set the offense with 2 receivers to the short side right, 2 to the wide side left. Pistol formation, and a flag comes in, and I think the Wolverines had too many men on the field. And the illegal substitution against the defense is going to cost them 5 yards. Yeah, there were 12 men on the field. 1 ran off, but Upper St. Clair did not huddle. So the Wolverines, the fact that they did not huddle either and they were setting, means that the illegal substitution penalty cost them 5, and it's 1st down and 5 for the Panthers at the 17. Pressure on Dahlum as he rolls to the right. He has some room now as he crosses the 30, the 35, and he'll run out of bounds unscathed around the 36-yard line, and a big pickup there of 19 yards, and it's 1st and 10 for USC.
Yeah, that's why you got to be able to contain him. You see the receivers, just clear him out. That time the Wolverines have good coverage, but it doesn't matter. All the receivers going deep. It just clears out a ton of room, and the Wolverines unable to contain Dahlum in the pocket. He breaks out for a nice big gain.
Dahlum in the shotgun as he feels pressure. He runs to his right-hand side, slides through tacklers, brings the ball out across the 1st down flag to the 49-yard line, so pick up of 13, and that brings up 1st and 10 for USC again.
Yeah, very similar that time, though, except the Wolverines contained him, but they didn't tackle. So they're chipping away here, trying to figure things out, and a couple missed tackles there. That would have been a very nice tackle, but they were unable to do it, and a flag here before the snap. Looks like a false start on the Panthers.
So that's going to cost them 5 yards. They'll move back from the 49 to the 44, and it'll be 1st down and 15. This is the 2nd time we've seen the Panthers find some struggles as they get near midfield. Unfortunately, they were able to overcome those struggles with the passing game, and that led to another Panthers touchdown. Dahlum looks to his left, has Pantelis open. Shoestring tackle by Pantelis as he is shouldered down at around the 20-yard line. A big pickup there for the Panthers. A gain on that play of 36 yards, make it 35 as they'll say he's down at the 21.
I just wonder why Wolverines don't have a maybe safety playing center field there, but would have come over and been able to make that play unless Dahlum just didn't even go there because of that. But if you have that threat alone, maybe it deters the Panthers from making plays like that.
So Dahlum gets the play from the sideline. Calls out signals to his offensive line as he splits twins to either side. Now brings a sidecar to the left-hand side in the pistol. Looks to the near side left. Finds a receiver as that ball is bobbled. And then they will say caught by the receiver, Eberle. Now, it looked like he may have hit the turf with the ball, but the official didn't have the best angle on it. They'll say a completed pass inside of the 15 at the 14. That'll be the final play of quarter number 1. We head to the 2nd quarter, tied at 14-all, but Upper St. Clair inside of the Woodland Hills red zone. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Panthers on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
LG3 Entertainment is a first-class disc jockey and karaoke entertainment company that serves the Pittsburgh and surrounding areas. They offer a wide range of music entertainment for weddings, anniversaries, school dances, corporate events, and more. They also offer beautiful chair cover linen rentals to give your event the elegance it deserves. They offer many more services, so go to their website today and see why so many choose LG3 Entertainment for the best in family fun entertainment.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Upper St. Clair 14, Woodland Hills 14 here at Upper St. Clair High School. Adam Gusky, Eric Shuley on the call for you up here in the broadcast booth. Down on the field, it's Vince Russo. And as we take a look at this football game, both teams moving the ball virtually at will. Other than the first drive for either team, every other drive since then has led to points.
Yeah, it's really frustrating because the offense has been so good in comparison to other games so far for the Wolverines this year. But the struggles right now are coming heavily in the secondary for the Wolverines.
That's for sure, Eric. Now, I think that on the other side of the football, the Panthers struggling with the Woodland Hills running game.
Oh, absolutely. William Clark having his way as far as the offensive line goes. You got Jeremy Thomas and DeJuan Howells back along with Savon Givner, Keyshawn Frazier. They're doing their job, absolutely.
Yeah, offensive line doing a great job, and the Wolverines have been able to pass the ball a little bit as well, especially on that big touchdown pass to Scipio. Speaking of passes to the end zone, that one is incomplete as a nice defensive play down along the goal line by the aforementioned Tariq Scipio, who made the touchdown reception, prevents a TD there for the Panthers.
Yeah, that was a close one there. It looked like it was going to be able to connect for the Panthers, but Scipio getting in there at the last second, making the play. So now it's a big third down here for the Panthers and also for the Wolverines. See if they can get a stop.
Again, the Panthers go to the air, and the pass along the goal line is incomplete. They were looking for Lund, and Lund had a Wolverine on his back and William Chamberlain. Now, Chamberlain played the ball well with his left hand, but looked like his right hand may have been wrapped around Chamberlain, around the receiver, Lund, and that's what may cost the Wolverines half the distance to the goal line and a first down for the Panthers.
Yeah, very tough break there for Woodland Hills on the pass interference call. This will set the Panthers up here. Looked like that was going to be a tough ball to catch anyway as we take a look at the replay here from Dahlem on the pass.
Yeah, that right arm was wrapped around, but you're right, Eric. I do think that right arm may have been enough to impede the progress to the football, at least in the officials' eyes, especially the official along this near sideline. Two receivers left, two to the near, or rather trips to the near side right. As Dahlem looks to the short side to the left, and a great break on the football by Tariq Scipio. And for the second time this drive, he makes a beat on the football and breaks it up.
Yeah, great job by Scipio. Dahlem, I don't think, could see him. And you thought for a second there, if you saw Scipio early, you thought he was going to be able to jump in front and make the grab. He did the best thing he could there by knocking it away, but he was dangerously close to making a catch there and an interception, and he probably would have been able to go back to the house.
So the clock stopped with 11:45 to play in the first half. Second down and goal for the Panthers. The ball at the 7-yard line as USC sends two receivers to the short side left and to the wide side right. Two receivers as well. Dahlem is in the pistol. Now he will bring Keating to his right-hand side. Dahlem pressured. He's wrapped. He's sacked. Second sack of the game for the Wolverines, and this time it's Anthony Meredith with the stop in the backfield.
Yeah, you know, the great job by the Woodland Hills Wolverines there. Sending pressure, getting him flustered back there, making him try and break out, but he just did not have enough time to get away from a few Wolverines there led by Antoine Meredith. Great job there, coming right up the gut there to get the sack for Woodland Hills, and now he got to come through big here on this third down and long.
Trips left, one receiver to the short side right, sidecar to the left-hand side of Dahlem as he will look across the middle, and a lot of hand fighting going on there, and that time the flags don't fly, and the incomplete pass brings up fourth down and goal for the Panthers at the 15.
Yeah, it'll be interesting here. See what the Panthers opt to go for. It's long, but this is also a long field goal. You don't know how efficient their field goal kicker is. So we shall see. Looks like they're going to bring him out, and you always want to be aware of a fake. So we'll see if Woodland Hills can cover this well, if that is indeed what they do, or if they give the opportunity to Hechavarria to make the kick.
Ryan Junko, the reserve wide receiver, is the holder, as Hechavarria, the kicker, will boot this one away from the 22-yard line where the field goal is up and in, and Upper St. Clair regains the lead 17-14 with 10:56 to play in quarter number 2. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Panthers on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Whether you need a new website or want to improve your existing site, Web Landings can serve your needs. Web Landings provides professional, easy-to-maintain websites for businesses, organizations, and individuals. Discover more at weblandings.com and find out how editing your site can be as easy as using a word processor. Plus, we offer 1 year of free hosting for any website developed. Visit weblandings.com today.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
32-yard field goal for Echeverria, and Woodland Hills falls behind again, 17-14. His offense has been the name of the game thus far between the Woodland Hills Wolverines and the Upper St. Clair Panthers in this Allegheny Conference matchup between two longtime rivals, teams that have seen each other so very much over the years, even when they weren't in the same conference. Those epic playoff battles over the years.
Yeah, Adam, these teams are used to low-scoring games, though. Last year, like I said, 16-14 in favor of the Panthers. They didn't score an offensive point. Tonight, they already have 17 as we start the second quarter here, just a minute in.
Echeverria's kick will carry down inside of the 10 to around the 7-yard line, where it'll be returned by number 7, Eshawn Carter. As Carter takes it to the far boundary, slides through one tackler, sidesteps another as a flag is down, and this may be a face mask or a horse collar against USC where that flag was dropped, but we'll have to check in with the official, but hopefully it's good news for the team in white.
Yeah, good to see Eshawn Carter get involved in the return game. Did a lot last year at Steel Valley on punt returns and kick returns. Another weapon that the Wolverines can utilize on special teams and on the offensive side of the ball.
So it's a face mask against USC, and that it will move the ball out to the 42-yard line, where Woodland Hills will have very, very good field position. 10:44 to play in the first half. Woodland Hills trailing Upper St. Clair 17-14. Woodland Hills has never led in this game. They trailed 7-0, 14-7, and now 17-14. That's flags before the snap. And a false start against Woodland Hills is going to push them back 5 yards.
Yeah, certainly something you don't want to see after a penalty on the Panthers. That gives you even better field position after a pretty nice return by Carter. You're walking back 5 yards after a false start. Hopefully they can get that back and more here on a 1st and 15.
So 10:43 to play in the second quarter. Woodland Hills down by 3, facing a 1st down and 15 at their own 37-yard line. Twins left, one receiver to the short side right as Williams takes the shotgun snap, rolls to his right-hand side. He's going to tuck and run. He crosses the 40 into open field across the 45, inside of Panthers territory, where he's brought down at the 49-yard line. And a pickup of 14 on 1st and 15 makes a 2nd down and 1 very easy for Woody High.
Yeah, great job by Williams there. Didn't force anything. It looked like he may have had a receiver getting open there, but since he's a lefty, it would have been a tough throw for him to make across his body. So he opts to roll out and take the run there, and he does a great job with 14 yards on 1st down, setting the Wolverines up on a 2nd and 1 here.
2 receivers left, one to the far side right. Pistol formation. Handoff. Williams is going to give it off to the tailback, Taylon Brooks, who picks up the 1st down and more. A pickup of 5 to the 44, where he's brought down by a host of Panthers. Down at the bottom of the pile for USC appeared to be Joseph Lackner.
Yeah, Taylon Brooks, State Senator Jay Costa player of the game last week against Peters Township. Did it on the defensive side of the ball. He had a nice number of carries on the offensive side of the ball. On special teams, he was active. So another threat for Woodland Hills to use as we see Josh Rawlings split out on the near side here against Pantelis.
Yeah, 2 receivers to either side as the throw comes to the near side left, and the Wolverines, a new quarterback in there for Woody High is Deontay Williams. As he tosses it to the near side, he finds the receiver in Gavin Yarborough, and Yarborough is going to pick up no yardage there, gets back to the line of scrimmage and no further.
Yeah, the talented sophomore, Deontay Williams, who we saw make that great fake punt a couple weeks ago in the game at QB for the Wolverines.
One receiver to the near side left, two to the short side right, as Williams is going to run to the right-hand side, finds a crease, drives his way forward inside of the 40, brought down at the 36-yard line, which brings up a third and manageable about 2. Let's send it down to the field. Vince Russo, how does it look from your angle?
Looking good down here, guys. Thanks so much. One thing I've really been impressed with thus far on the offensive side of the ball for the Wolverines is their ability to get a lot of playmakers involved tonight. We looked at that being a possibility early in the season, but tonight I think the first contest where we've seen multiple quarterbacks, multiple ball carriers, lots of receivers involved. This offense keeping the defense on their toes. Back up to you guys.
2 receivers to the left, 1 to the short side right. Williams is in the pistol, and a hard count brings a defensive back into the neutral zone, and Capelio, the guilty party for Upper St. Clair, moves the ball 5 yards, and it's 1st and 10 for Woodland Hills at the 31-yard line.
Yeah, nice break there for Woody High. Hopefully they can build on that now as they're driving the ball down the field, now at the 31. With Deontay Williams still in at quarterback for the Wolverines, the very talented, speedy sophomore.
2 receivers right, 1 to the short side left. Looked like maybe a broken play there. Maybe the center and the quarterback weren't on the same page. Williams hesitated and then decided he's just going to take off running. Got back to the line of scrimmage, so no turnover, no negative yards. Overall, you got to say that's a win when something like that happens.
Yeah, it wasn't a disaster. You're going to see things like that when you have a younger guy in there who hasn't taken any varsity snaps yet at quarterback. That's okay. They're going to work through those things, and hey, you never know. Sometimes explosive plays can happen from things like that. Not right there, but it was not a disaster.
So 2nd and 10 for Woodland Hills as the clock winds here in the second quarter. 7:20 as the clock continues to roll. Twins to either side as Williams throws to the right side. It's in and out of the hands and then into the hands again for Armani Bailey, who gets to the line of scrimmage after bobbling the football in the completed pass. And then the tackle immediately right at the line of scrimmage by USC brings up 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, Wolverines, one thing that the Panthers have utilized a lot, going over the middle. You haven't seen the Wolverines do that yet. So maybe they could try that here. You got Josh Rawlings, again, such a talented tight end and receiver for the Wolverines. You'd like to see him get involved a little bit. You know, even though Pantelis is very talented in covering him, you know he still doesn't want to see Rawlings getting the ball.
One receiver left. Twins to the right now, though, motion. 2 backs into the backfield, and the handoff is going to go to the Wolverines tailback, Taylon Brooks, who wiggles his way forward for a gain of about 3 inside of the 30 to the 28-yard line. And that brings up 4th down and 7, and it's too far for a field goal, too close for a punt. So the Wolverines going to keep the offense on the field.
Yeah, you know, a couple of those passes by the Wolverines early, going horizontally, it's a lot like just keeping the ball on the ground. So they put themselves in a rough spot here, kind of in no man's land at the 28, but they are capable of converting this 4th and 7.
Two receivers left, 1 to the far side right. Some movement before the snap, but the Wolverines don't get whistled for it. Instead, Deontay Williams is going to carry the ball down inside of the 21 to the 20-yard line, and the Wolverines pick up 8 on 4th and 7 and convert.
Great job by Deontay Williams. He found the little hole that he had, and he's just small enough and just shifty enough to make plays like that, and he has so much acceleration there, and he was able to get up through the hole and make a big, huge 4th down on 4th and 7 for the Wolverines.
So it's 1st and 10 for Woodland Hills, just outside of the Upper St. Clair red zone as the ball sits at the 20. Clock winds down towards 5 minutes to play as the ball will go to the tailback, Taylon Brooks. He runs to the right, inside of the 10, slide steps a tackler, inside of the 5. He's brought down at around the 3-yard line, and the Wolverines have it 1st and goal inside of the Panthers 5. They'll mark him at the 2.
Big run by Taylon Brooks there. Again, the offensive line on the right side doing their job. You see Julius Brown there along with Savon Givner opening up that hole off tackle, and Taylon Brooks using his speed to get inside the 10 and inside the 5 all the way down to about the 2-yard line there.
Two receivers left, 1 to the short side right. Pistol formation, and the left guard moved early. Savon Givner, rather the right guard, looked like he was pulling on maybe a trap or a counter coming to the near side left. Moved that left arm back, and instead of 1st and goal at the 2, it's going to be 1st and goal at the 7.
Yeah, just another tough break for Woodland Hills. You just got to stay focused there if you're on that line. You're at the 2-yard line, first and goal. Now you really make it a lot harder on yourself, putting the ball all the way back at the 7 as we look at that wind blowing that ball off the 7-yard line. Now that's how much the wind, as Vince Russo mentioned earlier, is a factor tonight.
Clock winds, 4:35 to play. 2 receivers left, 1 to the short side right. Again, the handoff's going to go to Taylon Brooks, who drives his way forward and into the end zone for his 7-yard Woody High TD, and Woodland Hills has their first lead.
Yeah, you know what? That penalty didn't end up hurting the Wolverines at all. That defense for the Panthers definitely was tired, and the offensive line doing a great job opening up the hole for Taylon Brooks, and he slips right through, breaks a couple tackles there, and gets carried into the end zone. The Wolverines on top 20-17, looking to make it 21.
Off the top of my head, the first lead in conference play this season for Woodland Hills. Is that correct, Eric Schuley?
They were beating Bethel Park 16-14 at halftime.
That is right, yeah.
It didn't last long.
Yeah, that second half was a backbreaker for Woody High against the Bethel Park Blackhawks. PAT is up and in for Gavin Moore, and with 4:24 to play in quarter number 2, Woodland Hills leads Upper St. Clair 21-17. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Panthers on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
A-Boss Opticians on Braddock Avenue in Braddock is your one-stop optical shop. With hundreds of the latest frame styles and lenses, the skilled opticians at A-Boss will help select and fit the best eyewear option for you. Plus, A-Boss Opticians is the best eyewear repair facility in the area. No matter what your eyewear needs are, make A-Boss Opticians your opticians. Call A-Boss Opticians at 412-271-4424 or visit abossopticians.com.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
4:24 to play in the second quarter. Woodland Hills on top of Upper St. Clair, 21-17, and we'll send it down to the field. Vince Russo, last time I was at a Woodland Hills game, the Wolverines didn't have a kicking game at all. That seems to have changed since I returned to the broadcast booth here in week number 4.
2 weeks and a big difference. Gavin Moore, the soccer player who should be just over my shoulder here getting ready to kick off, he came to the soccer team just a few weeks ago, and he's been perfect tonight. That's been a huge story for the Wolverines as they have a 4-point lead here early in this one. Back up to you guys.
Always good to have a kicker you can rely on. That is such a pivotal part of a football game, especially in circumstances where you're playing tight games like we saw the Wolverines have against Bethel Park 2 weeks ago, tight game like we see here tonight. And 3 points thus far for Gavin Yarborough have led to Woodland Hills leading this game by 4 instead of by just 1.
Yeah, a lot of things that you can be positive about in this game so far, Adam, for the Wolverines, especially getting a guy like Deontay Williams involved in the game on offense.
Taking a look at the Allegheny 8 conference standings. Peters Township and Bethel Park undefeated in conference. USC and West A both 1-1 within conference play. And the Wolverines down near the bottom as they have yet to win a conference game, as there is a hit in the backfield. The ball comes loose. They are going to say it is a fumble as Dallum got hit hard, and the Wolverines recover the football. A big hit by Meredith.
Just incredible blitz by the Wolverines there, and exactly what they have to do, put Dallum under pressure. You saw he's been comfortable so far tonight in most snaps, but there the Wolverines bring so much pressure, and they hit him hard, and he drops that ball. Big fumble recovered by the Wolverines, Tywan Milton.
Yeah, misspoke there. It was Milton. It was 15, not 5. Meredith was running off the field like he made the big play. He's just happy his defense made the big play. As Tywan Milton forced fumble recovery. Woodland Hills has the ball just shy of the red zone. Williams back in at QB. He's going to hand off. Brooks running to the right, inside of the 20, sidesteps the tackler, into the end zone he will go. 20-yard TD run, and Woodland Hills is on top, 27-17.
Just in the snap of a finger, Adam, the Wolverines up by 10, looking to make it 11, and just a huge difference so far tonight from this Wolverine team from the first 3 games to this game tonight. They look entirely different, especially the confidence that they're playing with.
And they're playing a faster football game. The decisions are coming faster. The offensive plays are setting up faster. And it was clear there as Taylor Brooks took that handoff, ran around right end, and took it in the end zone, showing his speed. And Woodland Hills on top by 10. Gavin Moore to attempt the PAT out of the hold of the ever dangerous Deontay Williams. Good snap, good hold, kick up, and that kick will just clear the crossbar, and it doesn't matter how pretty it is, it counts just the same. And with 4:02 to play in the first half, Woodland Hills has taken a double-digit lead, 28-17 on the Upper St. Clair Panthers. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Panthers on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home has been serving families in the Woodland Hills community since 1905 and is a member of the Hall of Excellence of the National Funeral Directors Association. Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home now offers crematory services at their Turtle Creek location. Families choosing cremation can have added peace of mind, knowing that their loved one never leaves the care of Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home. For nearly 115 years, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home has been honored to serve local families and to be a proud partner of the Woodland Hills communities.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Woodland Hills has taken a double-digit advantage on Upper St. Clair, 28-17 with 4:02 to play in quarter number 2. A 20-yard touchdown run for the Wolverines. Taylon Brooks as the kickoff for Gavin Moore, end over end, bobbled and then covered up at the 23-yard line. And right now the Panthers are all kind of out of sorts.
Yeah, you know, the Wolverines need to keep it up. They got a lot of momentum right now. The defense has struggled, but the last couple series they've done a great job creating a turnover on downs, getting a big fumble. They've been good recently, and they need to keep it up, especially this pass rush. Keep him under pressure. I think that's the key. Do not let him get that ball to Pantelis, and keep Dahlem under pressure.
Four minutes exactly to go here in the second quarter as the Panthers have the football. Twins stacked to either side as Dahlem, who was hit hard on the previous play, is able to throw it out to the near sideline to Pantelis, who gets shouldered back and is able to keep his feet after the hit by Williams, and then he's forced out of bounds by Eshawn Carter.
Yeah, just a big reminder to the Wolverines, you got to wrap up on every play, especially on a guy like Pantelis. If you're not going to wrap up, don't do it on a dangerous guy like Pantelis. He's able to make a big gain out of something that should have been only a gain of about 1 or 2.
Dahlem in the pistol, Twins left. Slot stacked to the left as well as Dahlem steps to his left-hand side. Now he's going to be flushed to the near side right as flags come in. Dahlem's just going to throw the football out into the flat. There's nobody there, but the flag's down back near the line of scrimmage. In fact, there was a flag sitting right on top of Tywan Milton, and in all likelihood, this is going to march the Panthers back for holding.
You can see a few Wolverines get tackled there. So good job by the Wolverines. They get the holding call, and now this is a big opportunity to maybe get another sack and really back up the Panthers.
Next week, Woodland Hills travels to Baldwin to take on the Highlanders. Second of 2 consecutive road games for the Wolverines in Allegheny 8 conference play after hosting 2 in a row the last 2 weeks. Twins left, 2 to the near side right, as Dahlem is in the pistol with a back behind him. Looking to the near side right as the play clock is winding down, and the Panthers are going to have to use the timeout, so we'll take a breather too. Woodland Hills up by 11, 28-17. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Panthers on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Woodland Hills football is brought to you in part by the law offices of Owen Seaman. Owen is a Woodland Hills alumnus who studied law at Duquesne University and has been practicing law in the Pittsburgh area for over 15 years. Attorney Owen Seaman's experience encompasses virtually every facet of criminal defense. If you find yourself in need of criminal defense representation, call Owen at 412-721-0412 or visit OwenTheLawyer.com.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Woodland Hills on top, 28-17, with 3:41 to play in the second quarter. Adam Gusky and Eric Shuley up here in the booth. Down on the field, Vince Russo giving us a view from the sidelines. Taking a look at the Trib Live top 5. Penn Trafford atop the standings. Peters Township out of the Allegheny 8 Conference in 2nd. Gateway in 3rd. Penn Hills in 4th, and Bethel Park rounds out the top 5 as again Dahlem gets hit hard, and this time he'll complete the pass to the near side right, but banged around and brought down is Capulio, and Capulio brought down by Antoine Meredith. And a loss on that play back to the 12-yard line brings up 3rd and very long for USC.
A couple Wolverines getting in there, pressuring, and then a couple others on the side. In the flat, staying home, able to make the play, take them down quick. This is a key 3rd down and long here. The Wolverines got to get a stop. Don't let them get any motivation here and momentum.
Ball at the 12 line to gain the 33, so it's 3rd down and 21 for USC. Twins left, 2 receivers to the short side right. Tight shotgun formation as Dahlem is hit as he releases the football, and a nice defensive play out there around the 25-26 yard line by D-back Armani Bailey breaking up that pass, and the punt unit has to come on for USC.
More pressure by the Wolverines, making Dahlem a little bit confused, making him throw an ill-advised pass where good coverage by the Wolverines make that ball drop incomplete, and now an even bigger opportunity for the Wolverines here to make points out of that forced punt now. With Armani Bailey back to return.
Yeah, Bailey stands at his own 45, anticipating a punt that will wobble towards him right near the midfield stripe. He'll take it at the 49, running to his right-hand side. Sidesteps a man inside of the 30, inside of the 30, or inside of the 40, inside of the 35, and he's brought down at the 34-yard line before the tackle is finally made by Upper St. Clair's tight end, Harkerlode.
Yeah, if you're the Wolverines, I say keep that foot on the gas right now. That's what's working against Upper St. Clair. The defense has had a breather, but they got some guys that go both ways, certainly, especially in the secondary. So if you're the Wolverines, I think you got to keep your foot on the gas, like I said, and keep coming hard at the Panthers and get this ball in the end zone one more time before the halftime.
So again, Jeffrey Williams will be the quarterback. He has been subbed out today by Deontay Williams, at least for 1 TD drive. 2 receivers right, 1 to the short side left. Williams runs to his right-hand side, cuts it forward as a flag will come down in the backfield, and they are going to spot that flag right at the line of scrimmage, and it will be 1st down and 20 after the infraction against the visiting team.
Yeah, tough break there. Holding there on Woodland Hills going to really set the Wolverines back in a 1st and 20 now, as you mentioned, Adam. But still plenty of time here with just over 2.5 minutes until the half. So we'll see if the Wolverines, explosive offense so far here tonight, can get the ball in the end zone, and maybe now's the time we see Rawlings get involved.
So Woodland Hills backed up to the 44-yard line, so it's 1st down and 20. The line to gain is the 24. 2 receivers to the short side right, 1 to the near side left, tight end to the right of the formation. Williams pulls the ball out of the belly of the running back. Now he'll reverse his field after carrying off a offensive lineman. He'll cut around the 35, inside of the 30, inside of the 20, inside of the 15, jumps over a teammate. He's driving his way inside of the 5 and into the end zone. He will go for a Woodland Hills touchdown. What a great individual effort by Jeffrey Williams.
No quit in Jeffrey Williams or any of the Wolverines tonight. Just a great run. They had it. They made a nice read on that to the defense, but Williams able to reverse his field, something we've seen many Wolverines over the years do. They have the speed, they have the ability to do it. He does it so effectively there, and then he's able to take it to the house, just take it to a whole other level and fight his way into the end zone past one of the strongest Panthers in David Pantelis.
So Gavin Moore will boot the PAT with 2:02 to play here. Woodland Hills right now doubling up the Panthers 34-17. Good snap, good hold. Kick is blocked, and the Panthers will keep it at a 17-point advantage for the Woodland Hills Wolverines. We're going to step away back in 30 seconds. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Panthers on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Woodland Hills doubling up the Upper St. Clair Panthers 34-17. A 44-yard touchdown run by Jeffrey Williams, and the second touchdown run for Williams in an impressive manner where he shows everything in his wheelhouse, whether it's the speed, the strength, the elusiveness. He's shown it all twice on 2 different touchdown runs today, one of 12, one of 44.
Exactly why Jeffrey Williams is such a good guy to have at the quarterback position in high school. It's so important to have your best athlete there if he can do all those things and has those skills, and Jeffrey Williams certainly does.
Kick by Gavin Moore, end-over-end kick, carries to the far numbers at the 17-yard line, where it'll be returned by the Panthers tailback, Jaden Keating, who is undercut by William Clark at the 19-yard line. It'll be first down and 10 for the Panthers there.
Nice pursuit by Clark there, breaking through any blockers that tried to take him out and making a big tackle there, because Keating is a threat for the Panthers, one of 3 running backs that can do a lot for Upper St. Clair.
So first and 10 for USC, the ball at their own 19-yard line with just under 2 minutes to play. Timeout called by Woodland Hills, so we'll step away too. 1:56 to play in the second frame. Woodland Hills doubling Upper St. Clair 34-17. It's the Wolverines and the Panthers on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale has recently been named among the 33 best sandwich shops in America. But folks in the Woodland Hills communities have known that for over 80 years. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're sure to love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
1:56 to play, quarter number 2. Woodland Hills 34, Upper St. Clair 17. Adam Gusky, Eric Shuley on the call for you up here in the booth. Vince Russo down on the field, and we will check in with Vince after this play as he has some more insight to the Wolverines and the Panthers' history. USC goes to the air on first down and 10 from their own 19, and a tackle is broken by USC's David Pantelis, and he's off to the races down that far sideline inside of Wolverines territory. He will finally be brought down inside of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
Yeah, just something the Wolverines have to do better, tackling. That's the one thing that they've been weak on tonight. And like I said before, you can't be weak on tackling David Pantelis. Just a bad missed tackle there by Tariq Scipio that caused the whole run after the catch by Pantelis.
The Panthers going to go straight to the line of scrimmage here, so we'll keep things on hold for just a minute as Dahlum's going to run the ball himself. Now he crosses the line of scrimmage, and then he's undercut as he surges his way towards the 36-yard line, so it'll be a modest gain of 2. And Vince, how about that insight you talked about during the commercial break with us?
Wow, first of all, Pantelis, one guy they haven't been able to stop. Last 3 times these teams have played, the average score has been 17-15, 51 points here in the first half. Keep that in mind as we go to the second half. Unorthodox for these 2 teams. Back to you.
Trips right, one receiver to the far side left. Play action as Dahlum is flushed to the near side right, picking up some downfield blocking, and he just lost his footing, and he will be down at the 33-yard line, so a gain of just 3 as he had some room on this near side.
Yeah, and Dahlum staying in bounds. That's another factor as the clock continues to run, now under 50 seconds. The no huddle has been in effect for much of the Panthers' offensive many of the offensive drives for the Panthers tonight, so they're not uncomfortable with that at all.
2 receivers to the short side right, 2 to the far boundary left as Dahlum brings a sidecar to his left-hand side. Dahlum flush to his left. He will tuck, he will run. He's inside of the 30s. He'll step out of bounds at around the 25-yard line, and that'll give the Panthers a fresh set of downs to work with at the 25 with 25 to play.
Yeah, getting out of bounds, stopping the clock. That was big there for Upper St. Clair. This is just a big moment for the Wolverines. You know, you got a 17-point lead, 25 seconds left. Not only would this bring the Panthers closer, this would really give them so much momentum going into the locker room, and it's something you have to avoid here if you're the Wolverines. You cannot let the Panthers get on the board.
2 receivers right, 1 to the far side left. Dahlem's going to set a sidecar to his left-hand side, and he has a protector to his right. Dahlem looking left, throwing left. The receiver out of the backfield is going to carry that ball down towards the goal line. They'll say he steps out of bounds with the ball at the 1-yard line. So it'll be first and goal for the Panthers with 17 seconds to play at the Wolverines 1.
Yeah, the Wolverines defense just breaking down right now. Nobody there, wide open along the sideline there on the wheel route there. And just Wolverines having a tough time right now.
Yeah, Jaden Keating, he's been staying in as a personal protector. That time he slid out of the backfield, caught the pass, took it down to the 1-yard line, and one play later into the end zone goes the QB, Ethan Dahlem, and it is now a 11-point game with 11 seconds to play. PAT coming can make it a 10-point affair.
Yeah, you wondered there, Adam, if the Wolverines scored too quickly on the previous drive on the run by Jeffrey Williams, and they certainly did, as Upper St. Clair had a nice plan and a great 2-minute drill there. They get the ball right down the field and score.
Well, the issue was it wasn't like Woodland Hills was speeding things up. They just had a big run from scrimmage. It's, that's something you can't avoid in that particular circumstance. PAT up and in with 11 seconds to play here, and it's a 10-point game, 34-24, with 11 seconds here in the second frame. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Panthers on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Life has its ups and downs. There are times when you or a loved one needs help. That's why you should know the name LGAR, Health and Rehabilitation Center. Located just minutes from the Monroeville Mall, the LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center has been known by locals for many years, and they excel in reputation, rehabilitation, recuperation, and residential living. The help and answers you need are just a phone call away at 412-825-9000. Also on the web at lgar.org. LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, a name you should know and a name you can trust.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
So 11 seconds to play here in quarter number 2. Upper St. Clair has cut into the Wolverines' lead. It was at 17, and now it's at 10. And the Panthers going to try to keep it away from the dangerous return men of the Wolverines as they will kick it out of bounds. Obviously planned, but the good news is that's going to give Woodland Hills a decent opportunity at the 35 here, and we've seen them have a proclivity to go to the air and score today. We've also seen the big plays on the legs of Jeffrey Williams. Yeah,
the Wolverines have been able to do it in multiple ways tonight. Now maybe you might see them air this one out deep to Josh Rawlings. If you're going to try it, now might be the time. If you got single coverage, even if you have a safety who could come over the top, he's still got such a height advantage. Now might be a time to just throw a bomb.
So the Wolverines in the shotgun. Twins left, 2 to the wide side right. Williams, low snap, but he gathers it in, and he's going to heave-ho it down that far boundary. Looking for Scipio. Scipio can't slide underneath it, and the Wolverines will have one more chance to try to get the ball down the field with 4 seconds to play here in the second quarter, leading by 10.
Yeah, just a tough throw to make there all the way across the field by Jeffrey Williams. He has Josh Rawlings on this near side. It's an easier throw for him to make. I think now might be the time to give that a try. As you can see, Coach Boster going with the aggressive approach, not kneeling it. You like to see that, but you got to make it a little bit easier on the guys, and I think Jeffrey Williams maybe tried to do a little too much there on that pass.
So the ball's on the left hash as Williams is going to be in a pistol with twins to either side. Williams with his heels at the 30-yard line, the ball at the 35. And he's going to hand off. William Clark cuts to the right, slides through tacklers, and he will drive his way forward for a gain of 9, stuffing the stat sheets for the final play of the second quarter. But Woodland Hills, who came into this game winless, has a 10-point lead against the Upper St. Clair Panthers at halftime. And overall, you've got to be pleased if you're a Wolverine fan with the first 24 minutes of football.
Certainly. Had you asked me before the game, you would take a 10-point lead into the locker room, I would have said absolutely. Now, the way it happened, it's a little discouraging as the Wolverines give up that touchdown with just about 2 minutes left in the half, but hopefully they can regroup and come out of the locker room strong.
Well, you've got to be impressed with the way Woodland Hills has played offense thus far today. The defense has had its moments. Obviously, the big hit that led to the turnover was a big play for Woody High, but really, the way the offense has been able to move the ball today has been impressive.
They've been able to showcase their multiple weapons, Adam. That's the thing. Jeffrey Williams, guys like Taylon Brooks, so many guys getting involved right now. Deontay Williams, the talented sophomore, getting involved in the offense. Hopefully they can keep that up and put more points on the board in the second half.
We are going to step away. When we return, it'll be the Woodland Hills Football Network halftime show. Eric Shuley, Vince Russo down on the field. I'm Adam Gusky. You're tuned into the Wolverines, the Panthers on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Bush Brothers Car Care Center in Swissvale has been a Monongahela Avenue institution for 4 decades. Bush Brothers is a full-service mechanic and tire shop for all types of vehicles. Whether you need mechanical work, an alignment, state inspection and emissions testing, new tires, or just an oil change, Bush Brothers is the place for you. Bush Brothers Car Care Center, Monongahela Avenue in Swissvale, or give Martin and Jason a call at 412-351-5342. The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale has recently been named among the 33 best sandwich shops in America. But folks in the Woodland Hills communities have known that for over 80 years. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're sure to love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now. Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home has been serving families in the Woodland Hills community since 1905 and is a member of the Hall of Excellence of the National Funeral Directors Association. Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home now offers crematory services at their Turtle Creek location. Families choosing cremation can have added peace of mind, knowing that their loved one never leaves the care of Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home. For nearly 115 years, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home has been honored to serve local families and to be a proud partner of the Woodland Hills communities. Woodland Hills football is brought to you in part by the law offices of Owen Seaman. Owen is a Woodland Hills alumnus who studied law at Duquesne University and has been practicing law in the Pittsburgh area for over 15 years. Attorney Owen Seaman's experience encompasses virtually every facet of criminal defense. If you find yourself in need of criminal defense representation, call Owen at 412-721-0412 or visit OwenTheLawyer.com.
Excella Health wants to know, how can we help you today? Can we help you find a doctor? Schedule a same-day appointment. Choose just the right service for your health concern? As your healthcare partner, Excella offers hundreds of primary care and specialty doctors, along with outpatient testing, rehab, and nationally recognized heart care, surgery, and orthopedics. To learn more, visit excellahealth.org or call 1-877-771-1234.
Tired of a dirty car? Mr. Magic Car Wash will have your vehicle looking new again in just minutes, even those tough to clean wheels. Try us out at any one of our 5 convenient South Hills locations for a car wash you won't soon forget.
Mr. Magic Car Wash, clean, shiny, and dry every time.
Bush Brothers Car Care Center in Swissvale has been a Monongahela Avenue institution for 4 decades. Bush Brothers is a full-service mechanic and tire shop for all types of vehicles. Whether you need mechanical work, an alignment, state inspection and emissions testing, new tires, or just an oil change, Bush Brothers is the place for you. Bush Brothers Car Care Center, Monongahela Avenue in Swissvale, or give Martin and Jason a call at 412-351-5342.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
And we welcome you back to Upper St. Clair High School, where Woodland Hills has taken a lead into the locker room, 34-24, in a very high-scoring affair between the Woodland Hills Wolverines and the Upper St. Clair Panthers. And we talked about it before we went to break, Eric Shuley. You've got to be happy with the Woodland Hills offense through the first 24 minutes of football.
Most definitely. So many positive things happening for the Wolverines on offense so far. 58 total points and a half. You haven't seen that in a game between these two teams in a long time, that many points. You know, had a slow start, certainly. A turnover on downs by Upper St. Clair to start the game. Woodland Hills with a fumble, but then it did not take long after that for things to really get going. Upper St. Clair with that 58-yard touchdown pass from Dahlem to Pantelis, and then Woodland Hills answers right back with a 78-yard touchdown from Jeffrey Williams to Tariq Scipio. Couple more touchdowns traded as Upper St. Clair with an 11-yard touchdown from Dahlem to Shear, Brandon Shear, and then Woodland Hills with their 12-yard touchdown to answer back on a run by Jeffrey Williams. And then Upper St. Clair gets stalled out on a drive by Woodland Hills with a field goal, 32 yards. Then Woodland Hills answers that with a nice touchdown run of 7 yards. Upper St. Clair fumbles on their next drive. Woodland Hills getting the ball back right with Taylor Brooks on the first play for a 20-yard touchdown run. Another forced punt by the Wolverines, and then Woodland Hills another touchdown, 44 yards, that time by Jeffrey Williams. Upper St. Clair finishing the half with a 1-yard QB sneak touchdown run by Ethan Dahlem, which is discouraging if you're the Wolverines, but as you said, so many things that you can build on and so many very, very positive things for Woodland Hills in a very high-scoring first half.
If you're tuned in live on any of our affiliates, enjoy the bands at halftime, and if you're watching any of our replays, we'll be right back with more halftime coverage. For Eric Schuley and our field reporter Vince Russo, I'm Adam Gusky. We'll talk to you soon here on the Woodland Hills Football Network Halftime Show.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network and the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Wolverine Football is also brought to you by the Triangle Bar and Grill, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, the law offices of Owen Seaman, LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, Fox's Pizza Den in Turtle Creek, Bush Brothers Car Care, LG3 Entertainment, Web Landings, and A-Boss Opticians. Now it's time for the Woodland Hills Football Network Halftime Show.
And we welcome you back to Upper St. Clair High School, where Woodland Hills leads Upper St. Clair 34-24 in halftime. Adam Gusky and Eric Schuley on the call for you up here in the press box. Down on the field is Vince Russo. And Eric, I know it feels like we're beating a dead horse here, but that offensive performance in the first half was something we have not seen in the first 3 games.
Yeah, it's something very good for the Wolverines, and they have to keep it up. That's key. Baldwin had a 7-point lead on Upper St. Clair last week, and Upper St. Clair was able to fight back and win that game 35-21 with almost no trouble in that second half. So the Wolverines have to eliminate a situation like that and stay strong here and keep the foot on the gas here on the offensive side.
We're going to take one final break here in the halftime show, and when we return, we'll get you set for half number 2. Again, it's 34-24, Woodland Hills on top of Upper St. Clair. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Panthers on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
A-Boss Opticians on Braddock Avenue in Braddock is your one-stop optical shop. With hundreds of the latest frame styles and lenses, the skilled opticians at A-Boss will help select and fit the best eyewear option for you. Plus, A-Boss Opticians is the best eyewear repair facility in the area. No matter what your eyewear needs are, make A-Boss Opticians your opticians. Call A-Boss Opticians at 412-271-4424 or visit abossopticians.com.
What can you expect at Seton Hill University?
An opportunity to transform the future.
A leader in innovative and mobile technology.
A personalized education tailored to your interests and your goals.
A welcoming community.
A big step up to your dream career.
As a nationally recognized Catholic liberal arts university, Seton Hill pushes your education, your abilities, and your career to a higher level. Seton Hill University. This way up for progress, possibility, and a brighter future.
Thanks for tuning in to the Halftime Show on the Woodland Hills Football Network and the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Woodland Hills Football is presented by State Senator Jay Costa. Wolverine Football is also brought to you by the Triangle Bar and Grill, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, the law offices of Owen Seaman, LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, Fox's Pizza Den in Turtle Creek, Bush Brothers Car Care, LG3 Entertainment, Web Landings, and A-Boss Opticians. Now it's time for the second half.
Halftime winding down here at Upper St. Clair High School. Adam Gusky and Eric Shuley will send it down to Vince Russo for your thoughts on half number one.
Hard not to be impressed if you're a Wolverines fan with that first half of play. The offense all over the field. Even maybe more impressively, though, that defensive line and the amount of pressure it got cutting up the field. Rawlings leading the way. Multiple sacks, turnovers. They really disrupting the flow of that offense for Upper St. Clair, which doesn't seem like it, though. They scored 24 points, but those turnovers allowing Woodland Hills to get out to that lead. But everyone keep an eye on this second half. Upper St. Clair, in their 2 victories this season, scored 3 touchdowns in the second half. So I don't think any of us would be shocked to see more points in the second half, but the Panthers have a propensity to put the ball in the end zone more so in the second half. And Woodland Hills, as we saw, had a first half lead just a few weeks ago. Let it slip away. We'll see what happens tonight. I'll send it back to you all up in the booth.
And Eric, you know, one thing Vince talked about during the first half was the fact that the Wolverines were able to bring some different players into the mix and participate in that first half offensively. And a little bit of change of pace, whether it was at tailback or at quarterback, really seemed to get things going for that Woodland Hills offense.
Definitely bringing in Deontay Williams, getting some snaps at quarterback. The Wolverines didn't even miss a beat there on offense.
Almost set to start the second half here at Upper St. Clair. Again, Woodland Hills up by 10 as we are set to kick off quarter number 3 as that wind gusts again and it blows the ball off of the tee. And check in with Vince one more time. Hey, Vince, how's the wind down there? I know you talked about it before the game, but seems like it's picked up again.
Yeah, still pretty intense down here as you saw the ball fall off the tee there. We'll see. Kickers have been good thus far in this game, but I'm sure it'll play a part in this close game in the second half.
Deep kick for the Wolverines as an end over end, or for the Panthers rather, as an end over end kick will carry back to inside of the 20-yard line where Armani Bailey's on the return for Woodland Hills. He carries it out towards the 35, but flags are down, and a hold's going to go against the Wolverines, and that is going to cost Woody high yardage. Back inside of the 30, back towards the 15 is where this ball's going to end up being spotted.
Yeah, that's been one sore point tonight for the Wolverines. Offense has been very good. The defense had some struggles, but they've been able to get pressure on Dahlem, which has been a big positive point for the Wolverines. But these penalties just killing them. You're going to start with pretty decent field position, and then you get that holding call. You're back to your own 15.
And the flag was thrown right around that 25-yard line, and it cost Woodland Hills very valuable yardage. Jeffrey Williams will quarterback the first series of this second half for Woodland Hills as he sets in the pistol with twins to either side and a setback behind him. And the handoff goes up the middle, and it's William Clark driving his way out to the 20-yard line, and a gain of 5 on first down is a win every time.
Most definitely William Clark, a hard runner right up the gut there, and you got to expect that the Panthers are going to load that box up and be ready for that run from the Wolverines. And if you're Woodland Hills, especially those linemen, you just got to get physical here and get gritty. And if that's what the approach is for Woodland Hills, you got to come through and open up those holes and just keep these drives moving.
2 receivers to the left, a slot and a receiver to the near side right. They will run the counter to the far side left, and Clark is hit hard after picking up a pair of yards across the 20 to the 22-yard line. He's upended and brought down. That brings up 3rd down and 3 with the line to gain the 25.
Yeah, this 3rd down play could be huge here for the Wolverines. You want to keep your offense on the field and keep that tired defense for Upper St. Clair. Although they had a nice break there at the half, they were on the field a lot and running around a lot trying to chase these Wolverines. You got to get them tired here again.
2 receivers right, 1 to the far side left. Good snap as the handoff goes to Clark. He'll lower his shoulders, drives his way forward. First down yardage and more. Out across the 25 to the 30-yard line where they will finally spot him down. And it's 1st and 10 for Woodland Hills from the 30.
Lyman answering the call there. Nice pull there by DeJuan House, getting a big block, and then William Clark fighting through the tackler of Brandon Shearer there. One of the best defensive players for the Panthers. A great first down as we approach 10 minutes left in the third.
What an incredible difference it has been with the Wolverines getting 3 starters back on that offensive line this week. Handoff, Clark running left. He's across the 40, driving his way forward out towards the 45. It'll be brought down actually at the 43 before being hauled down. Pickup of 13, and it's another Woodland Hills first down. And in this type of circumstance, Eric, it's never too early to start thinking about the clock. Obviously, it's quarter number 3. You've got another fourth quarter to worry about. But if you can grind the football, grind the clock at the same time, you wear down a defense, number 1, and number 2, you wear the game away.
We've seen a lot of quick games from the Wolverines so far this year. That's been because there's been a lot of running and a lot of successful running, as you mentioned, Adam. And if the Wolverines can do that, they will be able to not only hopefully get on the board, but be able to run more clock off.
Jeffrey Williams may have been a broken play there as he carried the ball to the left-hand side, picked up a yard on the play before being brought down by a gang of black jerseys. Leading the charge for USC is Joseph Hauk, the junior defensive lineman.
Yeah, it would be huge for the Wolverines to get this ball in the end zone, just because it would be pretty demoralizing after Upper St. Clair was able to drive that ball down the field right before the half and get 7 points on the board, get it to a 10-point game. But if you could drive this ball down the field, really take some of the stuffings out of the Panthers.
Twins to the right, 1 receiver to the far boundary. Left as the handoff goes to Clark. He hesitates left, bursts free, inside of the 40, inside of the 30. He's on his feet at the 25, the 20, to the 15, dragging a tackler down to the 12-yard line. It's going to be a horse-collared tackle and a 1st and 10 for Woodland Hills at the 12.
More great running by William Clark. You could see how he was breaking away there, but Julio able to track him down as he had a nice angle on him. But still, a huge run for Woodland Hills, and now they have a big opportunity in the red zone to just push this ball in and really demoralize the Panthers out of the locker room.
So the horse collar tackle is going to compound the issue for Upper St. Clair, because it's going to move the ball half the distance to the goal line from the 12 down to the 6. So Woodland Hills will have it 1st and goal from there. The Wolverines break the huddle and send 2 receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the short side right. Pistol formation with Clark behind Williams. And it looked like the receiver on the near side moved early, and that's going to cost Woodland Hills 5 of the 6 yards they lost, or they gained rather, on that penalty.
Yeah, last time something like that happened, it didn't matter. The Wolverines were still able to get that ball in the end zone before they had it at the 2. The false start took them back to the 7. 7-yard touchdown run, it didn't matter. But now could be different, but hopefully the Wolverines will be able to have the same outcome.
First and goal for Woodland Hills with the ball at the 11-yard line. Shotgun formation this time with a sidecar to the left of Williams. Motion man from right to left is Bailey. He'll take the jet sweep running from right to left. He'll turn the corner at the 10-yard line. He's still on his feet as he reaches across the 5-yard line, and Woodland Hills has it 2nd and goal, a handful of yards away from pay dirt.
Just a great job by Armani Bailey to evade the tackler, Brandon Shearer there. It was a very close to being taken down in the backfield there was Bailey, but he's able to string it out, get on the edge, and use his speed to get down to the 5. Now the Wolverines, big opportunity here.
Pistol formation with Clark behind Williams. 2 receivers right, 1 to the short side left, tight end to the right of the formation. Handoff. Clark has a big crease into the end zone. He'll go for a Woodland Hills touchdown, and Woodland Hills grows their lead back to 16 points.
Yeah, just bursting through that hole, exploding William Clark, and a big touchdown run for the Wolverines. Great way to start the second half.
Second time Woodland Hills has led by 16, and a PAT by Gavin Moore will make it 17 for the second time today. Woodland Hills was on top by a score of 34-17 before Upper St. Clair struck last in quarter number 2. The Wolverines strike first here in quarter number 3.
Big extra point here. You could get it to 3 possessions.
Good snap, hold down, the kick is up, and that kick is good by Gavin Moore. And with 7:26 to play in quarter number 3, Woodland Hills 41, Upper St. Clair 24. It's the Wolverines and the Panthers on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, Contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com.
You're tuned in to Wolverine football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
The Wolverines come out of the locker room at halftime and they punch the Panthers in the mouth. They drive the ball down the field from their own 15-yard line into the Panthers' end zone on a big, long 85-yard touchdown drive that chews up over 4 minutes of clock, and they did it the physical way.
Yeah, behind those strong offensive linemen, and just so much great running there from William Clark.
Back deep for the Panthers, number 11, David Pantellis.
Next week, Woodland Hills takes on Baldwin, and Vince Russo and Eric Shuley will be on the call for you from Baldwin Stadium as the Wolverines take on the Highlanders. Ball bounces into the hands of the return man, Pantellis. Now check, yeah, that is Pantellis on the return. Lost the foot for a moment, but was able to regather himself and steps out of bounds along the near boundary at around the 32-yard line. And what elusiveness by Pantellis.
Yeah, Pantellis has been doing that all night in multiple ways, and that's a key to this second half for the Wolverines. 2 keys: you got to keep the pressure up on the quarterback Ethan Dahlem, and you have to keep track of David Pantellis. He's been killing the Wolverines on defense.
Vince Russo, a big difference in body language between these 2 teams, right?
My goodness. I mean, Woodland Hills coming on the road here 0-3. Things didn't look great from the start, but there's a bit of a swagger with this team that they're really, they're initiating contact on the field, both offensively and defensively. And Upper St. Clair very silent here on the sidelines, guys.
Ball tossed to the far sideline. Pantellis eludes a tackler. He's off to that far sideline where he's finally brought down out near the midfield stripe, and tackling continues to be a bugaboo for the Wolverines.
Yeah, not good. It looks like it might be Jeffrey Williams down on the field there for the Wolverines. It's not what you want to see. And yeah, just the Wolverines just have not been able to wrap up tonight, especially on Pantellis, as that should have been a no-gainer or even loss, and he's able to break out for a big first down.
So Jeffrey Williams being tended to.
Officials timeout.
And this is not good news for Woodland Hills, as Williams has shown great ability on the offensive side of the football today. I mean, the 11-yard or 12-yard touchdown run in quarter number 1 was absolutely impressive, and equally impressive was the 44-yard touchdown run, because that showed everything in his wheelhouse just on a more protracted manner than what we saw in the first half, or the first quarter rather, on his 12-yard TD.
He's been a big factor all year for the Wolverines, all over the field, offense, defense, special teams, and this is the last thing you want to see. Now, he is up, but it looked like he may have been holding his wrist or something as he's shaking out his arms there, as we take a look at these standings over in the Big East Conference.
Yeah, on the one of the other conferences here in 5A, Penn Trafford on top, Franklin Regional 2-0 in the Big East standings. McKeesport 2-1, as are the Gateway Gators. Latrobe at 1-2. Plum is 1-2, as are the Connellsville Falcons. And at the northern standings, North Hills atop the conference with a record of 3-0, the only undefeated team in that conference. Twins right, 2 receivers split to the wide side left. Pump, and then a go. And a wide open receiver for the Panthers. Down the near sideline on the reception, and finally hauled down inside of the 5 at around the 3-yard line is the receiver who broke open, Joseph Lackner. The hitch and go worked a profession for USC.
Yeah, the secondary just continuing to have issues for Woodland Hills. Nobody there. They're getting sucked in on these plays by Ethan Dahlem and the offense for the Panthers, and you knew that there was still a long way to go in this. You just hoped that the Woodland Hills defense could stop it a little bit longer than right now. It's 6.5 minutes and Upper St. Clair going in.
Yeah, because right now Wolverines have been able to answer the Panthers back, but you don't want to continue to go tit for tat here. Got to make some defensive stops, and hopefully the Wolverines, at least in this circumstance, can hold the Panthers to 3. But Upper St. Clair has it first and goal at the 2, and now it'll be first and goal at the 6, as busting through the line came D lineman Julius Brown. The 6', 300-pounder just swallowed up the quarterback, Ethan Dahlem.
Yeah, Julius Brown didn't try and do anything fancy or make any big hit. He wrapped them up, which is exactly what Woodland Hills needs to do. for the rest of the game. Too many missed tackles. That's been the story, especially Pantelis just doing so much on his own tonight, breaking tackles from the Wolverines.
Play clock at 17 here. As the clock continues to wind, down to 5.5 minutes to play in the third quarter. 2 receivers right, 1 to the short side left. Pistol formation with a back behind Dahlem. Dahlem now motions that back to his left-hand side. Dahlem looks left as he rolls to his right-hand side. Now he pumps, hesitates, rolls to his right again, throws into the back of the end zone looking for Capulio, incomplete, and that will bring up 3rd and goal from the 6.
That time, great press coverage on Pantelis. He was not available on that little quick slant that I think Dahlem was looking for right off the bat. And then it forced Pantelis to go towards the back and cross over in the back of the end zone. And still good coverage by the Wolverines as they're backed up on their own goal line. And able to force a 3rd down here, so big, even though they would most likely go for it. But you never know, they could maybe want to get it to 2 possessions.
Pistol again to the back behind Dahlem. 2 receivers left, 2 to the wide side right. A little bit of confusion here with 10 seconds to go on the play clock. Now Dahlem settles, throws, bobbled by Pantelis, and it is incomplete. Great coverage by Scipio again, and I think he did enough to throw off the concentration of the receiver there in Pantelis.
Close call there, and Wolverines come through strong, and no sign of what they're going to do here yet. They still have the offense on the field, and you'd think they'd probably want to get it to 2 possessions, but it looks like they want to be aggressive. I wasn't sure before when I was making that call, but we'll see if the Wolverines can get the stop.
4th and goal, Twins to either side. Ball thrown across the middle, and it is dropped. Again, the coverage by Scipio as the pass along the goal line falls to the turf, incomplete. And it'll be a turnover on downs. The 2nd time today, the Panthers turn it over inside of Woodland Hills territory on the downs.
Yeah, Woodland Hills coming up big there on 4th down, getting the stop on the incompletion, and now here's really an opportunity. As you have 5 minutes left in this 3rd quarter, it is really an opportunity to assert yourselves and get that line moving and get William Clark going down the field here.
Pass was intended for Brandon Shearer, who couldn't believe he didn't catch the ball at first and then came up trying to ask for a pass interference, and I just think it was great coverage by the Wolverine D-Pack Tariq Scipio. Wolverines go to the ground on 1st down, and they'll pick up a yard or 2 out towards the 7, maybe the 7.5. As the ball carrier for the Wolverines is Deontay Williams.
Yeah, with Jeffrey Williams going down there, we're not sure if he will be back tonight as he had that sustained that injury. So you go to Deontay Williams, a sophomore, and you'll expect to see a mixture of him and William Clark on the ground, I would think.
Obviously, my old teammate Tim Boster cognizant of the fact that with the new play clock situation, they're able to kill a good bit more clock. Plus, he's cognizant of the fact that the Wolverines have a 17-point lead, and the clock is their friend here in the 3rd quarter. Broken play, Deontay Williams not on the same page with the Wolverines tailback. The ball came loose, and it's covered up by Upper St. Clair.
Yeah, it's just that's tough there. You got Deontay Williams in the game, and he's not used to playing quarterback, and little miscommunication there, and then the ball comes loose, and Upper St. Clair will get the ball back just where the Wolverines stopped them with a fresh set of downs, and that's just a killer if you're the Wolverines, because that play looked like it was designed to go to William Clark.
Yeah, the play broke down, and then Williams decided to tuck and run, and he wasn't carrying the ball tight to his body, and he tried to pull himself forward a little bit more. That gave the Panther the opportunity from behind to chop the ball loose, and this gives Upper St. Clair a fresh set of downs inside of the Woodland Hills 10-yard line for the 2nd time in a handful of plays.
It actually looked like it might have been Zachary Threats there in the backfield, number 3 for the Wolverines. I may have misspoken there. Nonetheless, still a very tough break for the Wolverines.
Dahlem in the shotgun has all kinds of time. Now he's going to tuck. He's going to run to the left side after he bounces off a tackler. Runs to the near boundary and into the end zone. He will go. The Wolverines had an opportunity at the line of scrimmage. They couldn't make it happen. And then into the end zone went Dahlem, and that cuts the Wolverines' lead down to 11 with a PAT up and coming.
Yeah, you hope that this isn't the beginning of a nightmare 2nd half for the Wolverines. That's exactly what they could not do, is fumble that ball by the goal line. They did it. Upper St. Clair cashes in right away, about to make this a 10-point game.
What's pivotal right now is after this kickoff, Woodland Hills needs to, number 1, be cognizant of perhaps a surprise onside, and number 2, They need to maintain a drive, kill some clock, and regain the momentum here in quarter number 3.
Yeah, this will be key for the Wolverines offense. We'll see what happens. They have to stay motivated and keep the momentum going.
Time out on the field. We'll step away to Woodland Hills up 10. It's the Wolverines and the Panthers on the Woodland Hills Football Network and the Trib Live High School Sports Network and it's all presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale has recently been named among the 33 best sandwich shops in America. But folks in the Woodland Hills communities have known that for over 80 years. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're sure to love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Net.
Woodland Hills taking the kickoff out across the 25, and they'll have decent field position. At least they get the ball out from the shadow of their own end zone out towards the 32-yard line after the kickoff by Upper St. Clair, returned by a Woody High return man. Upper St. Clair cutting the Woodland Hills lead down to 10 points, 41-31 on a 7-yard touchdown run by the quarterback of the Panthers, Ethan Dallin.
Yeah, as you watch that replay, just more missed tackles by the Wolverines. It's just, I can't believe how many times Wolverines have been able to track down Upper St. Clair Panthers and Dahlem and Pantelis, and they're able to slip free. Wolverines have to work on that.
Pistol formation as Williams is back into the lineup, goes to the air on first down, looks to his left-hand side, can't connect with the receiver Scipio, and that brings up second down and 10, and we'll send it down to the field where Vince Russo has some more insight on today's game.
So actually, I'll talk a little bit about last week as we look at this week. Ethan Dallin, the quarterback for USC. Watch out for him in the second half. Last week, 150 passing yards, almost 100 rushing yards in the second half alone, and that 3 total touchdown performance that helped bring them back against the Highlanders. So if anything's boding well for USC, it's that they've been in this situation before. We'll see if the Wolverines can't sustain a drive here, guys. Back up to you.
Thanks, Vince. 3:48 to play here in the third quarter. Woodland Hills facing a second down and 10 at the 33, and a false start against Woodland Hills is going to cost them 5 yards and move the ball inside of their own 30.
Yeah, not sure if something is wrong with William Clark. There again, Zachary threats in, and now he goes off the field. Taylon Brooks comes in. You know, William Clark, your main back, he got you down the field for that touchdown to open up the second half, and so I'm not sure. And it's good to see that Jeffrey Williams is back on the field, certainly for the Wolverines, but you wonder why William Clark isn't out there.
Pistol formation with threats behind Jeffrey Williams. Motion man from left to right is Rollins. Handoff. Check that. That's Taylon Brooks. The tailback out towards the 30 before he's driven back. That brings up third down and about 13 from near the 30-yard line.
Yeah, you see this happen so many times in football where one team has a great first half and they get up to a nice lead, and then the other team comes right back, gets some big plays, and gets themselves back in the game, and that just seems like to be what's happening right now. The Wolverines got to stop the bleeding here quick.
Yeah, Woodland Hills came out, punched the Panthers in the mouth at the first drive of the third quarter. A first down here would go a long way to getting that momentum back for Woody High, but it's not going to happen here as Jeffrey Williams ran to the right, tried to reverse his field, and he is brought down at the 30-yard line, so a gain of just 1 yard, and the punt unit has to come out for the first time today for the visitors.
Yeah, it's certainly good that this is the first time we've seen the Wolverines have to punt, but in this situation it is not good as Upper St. Clair now getting all the momentum, and just a tough break for the Wolverines after some bad plays and that big fumble that led to that Upper St. Clair touchdown. Now they're going to get that ball right back here.
Deontay Williams will punt it away for Woody High. Low snap, Williams gathers it in and gets it away, and he's undercut, and there's going to be a flag against the Panthers. If it's running into the kicker, it'll be 5 yards, and the Wolverines will have a chance to decline the penalty after a nice punt. If it's roughing the kicker, Woodland Hills is going to have a first down.
Yeah, we will see what happens here. Deontay Williams is limping off the field, another thing you don't want to see. But we'll see what the call is here. I have a feeling they're only going to say running into, but the Panthers don't look happy.
I'll check in with our referee and see what the official call is here. But if it is running into the kicker, I would definitely decline this one, as the punt by Williams bounced all the way down to the Panthers' 15 where the Wolverines downed it. So it is officially running into the kicker, so Woodland Hills smartly declines this one and takes great field position.
Yeah, nice bounce there. Definitely Wolverine bounce, and now the defense just has to step up here. The Wolverines have been such a strong defense for so many years. This year we've had the struggles. They're doing all right against the run, but that pass really, really has been a struggle for the Wolverines, and that tackling. They have to wrap up. They cannot let the Panthers, especially Pantelis, get free on this drive.
2:16 to play, third quarter. Woodland Hills up by 10, 41-31. 72 points scored already in this football game, and we still have over 14 minutes of football to play.
Yeah, something you just do not hear often, as we've mentioned. You can't mention it enough, because these two teams are always so physical and always tend to have very good defenses. But this year it's a little bit different.
Trips to the right of the formation, one receiver to the short side left as the quarterback Dahlem is in the shotgun, and he's going to shovel it off to Pantelis, who runs from left to right, and Pantelis slides through tacklers, and he lost the football out of bounds, and the ball will be spotted where the fumble happened, which was right at the 25-yard line, so it'll be enough for a first down regardless.
Yeah, just too much there for the Panthers, and they're back to going up tempo here, and the Wolverines just walking back into position. It's the body language that we talked about. Now it's completely flipped, a complete 180 here.
Twins to either side as Dahlem looks to the left-hand side and again finds Pantelis, and this time he's wrapped and brought down after a gain out across the 30 towards the 33-yard line. So a gain of 8 on that play brings up second down and 2 from the 33-yard line.
Can't stress enough how great of a tackle that was by Eshawn Carter, because if he does not take Pantelis down there, who knows where Pantelis ends up.
Yeah, a lot of greenery in front of him had Carter not made that stop. 1:40 as the clock winds here in quarter number 3. Woodland Hills on top of Upper St. Clair by 10. Panthers with the ball, 2nd and 3 at their own 33. USC motions a sidecar to the left-hand side of the quarterback, Dahlem. Dahlem feels pressure as he releases the football, and the pass is incomplete at the midfield stripe. Pass was intended for Pantelis, but he had to turn into a defensive back and try to stop the momentum of Eshawn Carter, who was breaking on that football.
Yeah, it was hard to see from our viewpoint, Adam. Take a look at the instant replay here. It looked like he may have interfered a little bit with Eshawn Carter, but you're probably not going to get that call. You just have to step up here if you're the defense and get a huge stop on third down.
Yeah, 3rd and 3 for the Panthers at their own 33-yard line. Twins left, one receiver to the far side right, a wing to the right of the formation as well, as the quarterback Dahlem sets in the shotgun with a sidecar to his right. Motion man is Pantelis from left to right. He'll take the inside handoff. He's got the first down and more into open field, spun down near the midfield stripe, and the drive continues for the Panthers at the 50-yard line.
Yeah, just more broken tackles by the Panthers, more missed tackles by the Wolverines, and now you got to see the Wolverines hustling back to the line, and Wolverines getting off the field, and just a lot of miscommunications right now. Wolverines aren't going to do it. They're probably going to have to use a timeout here.
And smartly there, Josh Rawlings, the Wolverines senior two-way end, thought to himself, you know what, too much confusion. Let's take a timeout. Coach Foster didn't call for it, but it's something we need to do in this circumstance.
Yeah, very good heady play by the D1 Virginia recruit, Josh Rawlings.
Timeout on the field. We'll step away. 1:08 to play third quarter. Woodland Hills on top by 10. It's the Wolverines, the Panthers on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Life has its ups and downs. There are times when you or a loved one needs help. That's why you should know the name LGAR, Health and Rehabilitation Center. Located just minutes from the Monroeville Mall, the LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center has been known by locals for many years, and they excel in reputation, rehabilitation, recuperation, and residential living. The help and answers you need are just a phone call away at 412-825-9000. Also on the web at lgar.org. LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, a name you should know and a name you can trust.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills.
1:08 to play as the Panthers go from the sideline to the line of scrimmage after the Woodland Hills timeout, as Dahlem's going to run to the near side left, and he'll step out of bounds a yard shy of the first down flag at the 41-yard line. And right now the Panthers are running the ball to the boundary very easily, right, Vince Russo?
Yes, absolutely, guys. This up-tempo offense is something that the coaching staff has brought in here and they're keeping this offense off ballast. A lot of jet sweeps, and then watch the bite, watch the play action here.
Dahlem running to his right-hand side as he steps around the right end. He'll carry the ball inside the 40 to around the 37-yard line, so he'll pick up a 4 on that play. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Upper St. Clair, and the ball stops momentarily. The clock stops momentarily as they set the chains, and now it will restart on 1st and 10 for the Panthers at the Woodland Hills 37. Pressure on Dahlem. He'll run to his right-hand side. Could have been a hold there against the Panthers, but no dice. Now Dahlem will drag tacklers inside of the 30 to around the 29-yard line, and a nice pickup of 8 yards on that play brings up a very manageable 2nd down and 2 for USC.
Yeah, it definitely looked like the Panthers had a lot of jersey there, but the Wolverines don't get the call, and they got to regroup here.
Again, confusion, and the Panthers are going to go straight to the line of scrimmage, and Josh Rawlings wasn't confused. He burst through the line, made the stop in the backfield, nowhere to go for the tailback, Ethan Heister, and that'll be the final play of quarter number 3. Woodland Hills was up by 10 at halftime. They're up by 10 at the end of the 3rd quarter. Eric Shuley.
Yeah, you know, the way it happened isn't great, but the Wolverines right now with a big chance to stop this drive before it goes any further as we enter this 4th quarter.
We're going to step away for just a moment, and when we return, we'll hear more from Vince Russo down on the field. It's the Wolverines and the Panthers on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Bush Brothers Car Care Center in Swissvale has been a Monongahela Avenue institution for 4 decades. Bush Brothers is a full-service mechanic and tire shop for all types of vehicles. Whether you need mechanical work, an alignment, state inspection and emissions testing, new tires, or just an oil change, Bush Brothers is the place for you. Bush Brothers Car Care Center, Monongahela Avenue in Swissvale, or give Martin and Jason a call at 412-351-5342.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
10-point lead for Woodland Hills as we begin quarter number 4. We'll send it down to the field. Vince Russo, some more insight on the way the Panthers are running their offense.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep up and get these updates in between this high-tempo offense as they keep running plays. But what I was trying to say is watch these jet sweeps with the receivers coming through. Watch the defense bite on that. If they start doing that a lot, watch the play-action pass over the top. Back up to you guys.
First play of quarter number 4 upcoming, 3rd and 4 for the Panthers. As Dahlem is pressured, rolls to his right-hand side, steps forward, has some room now as he takes it inside of the 30, brought down near the 25-yard line. They'll say he's down at the 26. Now Dahlem's going to have to come out for a play because he lost his lid after picking up the 1st down and a gain of 5.
Yeah, you know, the Wolverines were able to get in and create pressure, but Dahlem just showing his athleticism there, getting out, using his feet, scrambling, and getting a big 1st down for Upper St. Clair.
We've seen Woodland Hills turn the Panthers over on downs on 2 different occasions today, with the Panthers holding the ball inside of Woodland Hills territory. USC has it 1st and 10 at the Woodland Hills 26 right now. New QB in is Erdos, and he'll hand off on the jet sweep. Pantelis running from left to right. He's strung out and forced out of bounds by Armani Bailey. A gain of just 3 inside of the 25 to the 23-yard line.
Yeah, nice tackle by Bailey there. He stuck with it, and he was able to take down Pantelis. And it was almost a guarantee there that Pantelis was going to get the ball. You know, Dahlem off the field, their two biggest playmakers, Pantelis and Dahlem. So Dahlem leads. You expect to see Pantelis get it, which is what happened, but the Wolverines did a good job of containing that.
Dahlem in the pistol, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the far side left. Now he'll motion the pistol back to his right-hand side. Dahlem straight drop back, feels pressure, steps up into the pocket, runs to his right-hand side, now settles and throws and has a receiver open in the flat who breaks 2 tackles and into the end zone, and it's a 4-point game.
Yeah, nice job by Dahlem there to keep with it, and even though he was out of the pocket, find his man and make a nice throw there. He looked like he was pretty close to being across the line of scrimmage, but he wasn't. And the Panthers are about to make this a 3-point game.
Yeah, Dahlem, heady play, set his feet at the 25 and found Lackner at around the 7-yard line, and Lackner broke 2 tackles, and into the end zone he goes for Upper St. Clair touchdown. And a PAT here, up and in, makes it a 3-point game. Woodland Hills would be up by 4, but they had a PAT blocked in this game. So right now, it's just a 3-point advantage for the Woodland Hills Wolverines. We'll step away, 11:09 to play in regulation. It's the Wolverines and the Panthers on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Fox's Pizza Den in Turtle Creek is the official pizza of the Wolverina and has been a family tradition since 1971. Fox's Pizza also features tasty appetizers, fresh salads, as well as mouth-watering hoagies and sandwiches. Fox's Pizza in Turtle Creek is conveniently located in Penn Plaza, so stop in to pick up lunch or dinner or call to place your delivery order now at 412-823-9960. From our den to your den, it's Fox's Pizza Den in Turtle Creek.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Upper St. Clair, 14 unanswered points, cuts a Woodland Hills lead from 17 down to 3. And they've done it reasonably quickly, as the Wolverines have done their best to try to kill some clock here in the second half, and they scored a touchdown in the process. Upper St. Clair has cut the Wolverines lead down to 3, and it's 41-38 with 11:08 to play in regulation.
Yeah, that fumble really hurt the Wolverines before, and it aided that quick touchdown by Upper St. Clair, and then that one right there, the Wolverines defense just was not prepared.
And a big kickoff carries into the end zone, and Woodland Hills will have the ball at their own 20-yard line. Key here for Woodland Hills, get some points, number one. Number two, eat up clock.
Absolutely. I think if they can get points, probably they will end up eating clock. Unless they get a big play, you'd take either one here if you're the Wolverines. You just got to see something positive here and get down the field.
Vince Russo, any change in the moods on these two sidelines?
Oh, absolutely. A flip here. Tons of momentum on the Upper St. Clair sidelines. Woodland Hills, they're grasping for momentum here. See if they can come up with something, use some of those playmakers.
Pistol formation, Williams with a back behind him. He pulls it out of the belly of that back. Sidesteps a tackler to the near side left. Across the 25, out of bounds at the first down flag at the 30-yard line. A pickup of 10, and it's 1st and 10 for Woody High.
And definitely a nice run by Jeffrey Williams there. Still probably too early to say you wish he would have stayed in bounds. You know, the clock stops on the first down, but it does restart after the ball is set. So looks like a Panther is down here. We might take a short break.
Yeah, an Upper St. Clair Panther here got shaken up, and it looked like when he got shook by Jeffrey Williams, that's when the injury occurred. And the injured player for Upper St. Clair is Ethan Heister, who we've called his name a couple of times today on both sides of the football. Yeah, Heister, he got run into by one of his own players as Williams feigned right, went back left, and that's when the collision happened, and he got that left knee twisted up, and they're looking at it right now. We'll take this opportunity to step away. Hopefully Heister is okay. 11 minutes to play in regulation. Woodland Hills up 3. It's the Wolverines and the Panthers on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
LG3 Entertainment is a first-class disc jockey and karaoke entertainment company that serves the Pittsburgh and surrounding areas. They offer a wide range of music entertainment for weddings, anniversaries, school dances, corporate events, and more. They also offer beautiful chair cover linen rentals to give your event the elegance it deserves. They offer many more services, so go to their website today and see why so many choose LG3 Entertainment for the best in family fun entertainment.
Back to the field where Woodland Hills leads Upper St. Clair 41-38 with 11 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Wolverines with the ball 1st and 10 at their own 30. Jeffrey Williams, he's going to hand off. William Clark, the ball carrier, driving his way forward out towards the 34-yard line, 4 yards, and the clock rolls here in the fourth quarter.
Encouraging to see William Clark out there for Woody High. Strong runner. He's able to get you those chunks of yardage very often, chunks of yardage like 4 yards, and you'll take that every time, especially in this situation where you want to eat clock and get that ball downfield and get in the end zone. That is the key here. There's still so much time left, and you have to be able to put this ball in the end zone if you really want to feel comfortable. Only up by 3 with still 10.5 minutes left.
15 on the play clock as the Wolverines break the huddle and send twins to either side, and a sidecar to the left-hand side of Jeffrey Williams. Williams watching that play clock dwindle. Down to 5 now as he calls for the snap, and the Wolverines run a counter to the right-hand side, and the handoff is not clean between Williams and Clark. And right there, that's on Clark because Clark just didn't take the handoff the right way.
Yeah, he absolutely did not, Adam. He took his eyes off it, and that's really going to cost the Wolverines. That's an unfortunate play there because you had such a nice first down play of 4 yards, and if you could get another 4 or 5 there, you put yourself in a very nice third down and manageable, but instead no gain on the fumble, and now you're in a tough third down with still so much time on the clock.
Yeah, it's a 3rd and 6 for the Wolverines. The ball at their own 34-yard line here. Upper St. Clair fans below us trying to motivate their defense. Williams in the shotgun with twins to either side, sends a man in motion from left to right. Play action on the jet sweep. Now Williams trying to shed tacklers. He can't as he's brought down at the 30-yard line. That brings up 4th and 10, and the punt unit has to come on, and the defense has to come up big.
Yeah, that's it. The offense not doing their job right now, so the defense has to do it. 2 consecutive touchdowns for Upper St. Clair in this half, and the defense just has to regroup, and hopefully they did while they were on the sideline. And first and foremost, though, you got to get off a good punt here, and you have to make sure you don't get hurt by a return from David Pantelis.
Kellen McDonough, the long snapper. The punter is Deontay Williams. Williams takes a step to his right and punts this one away. A punt that takes a bounce in favor of Upper St. Clair, and the Wolverines have to race over and down it, and this will be a net punt of 6 yards.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable how everything is in Upper St. Clair's favor right now. Just not a good punt there by Williams, and you almost would have rather him try to fake there with the ability that he has if you would have known that he wasn't going to get a very good punt off, but now even more so. You got to stress it. The defense has to make a play and not only get stops, but it would be great if they could get a turnover here.
More than anything, make tackles. We've seen them miss so many tackles today. Tackling has been the whole reason that Upper St. Clair has been able to put up 38 points today. The Wolverines have just allowed so many Panthers to slip through their grasp, namely David Pantelis, time and time again.
Yeah, the most dangerous Panther to have that happen against you with, and it's just not something the Wolverines have done well tonight.
Pistol formation as Dahlum's in the shotgun and a motion man from left to right. And it looked like that motion man had moved forward, so it's either going to be a delay of game against USC or it's going to be offsides against USC. So a 5-yard penalty against the Panthers moves them back from the 36 to the 41. That's good news for Woody High. Once the ball's set, the clock should restart here. Or it doesn't wind, excuse me, it was a change of possession, so the clock was stopped leading up to that. Dahlum pressured, steps forward. Now he's wrapped and brought down right near the line of scrimmage. Maybe a loss of a half a yard and maybe a loss of a full yard as they'll spot that ball actually at the 42. And that brings up 2nd down and 16.
Man, nice job by the Wolverines there containing Dahlum. He was not able to get up the middle there and scramble out of that.
Second and a dozen with 8 minutes to play in regulation. Pistol formation for Dahlum. Twins right to receivers to the short side left as well as Dahlum gets the play from the near sideline. Low snap as Dahlum is pressured, steps forward, throws the ball. It's incomplete. Breaking on the football was Armani Bailey, and I don't know if he deflected it or just distracted Joseph Lackner, but either way, the incomplete pass brings up 3rd down and 17.
Yeah, 3rd and long here now for Upper St. Clair. It's something that the Wolverines have struggled with all season long, 3rd and longs, especially against Peters Township last week and against Bethel Park the week before. Now is the time you have to get the stop.
Line to gain is the 26. The ball is at the 42. Panthers send trips to the right and 2 receivers to the left. Empty set for Dahlum. Play being called in from the near sideline by the Panthers coaching staff as the play clock's down to 10. Dahlum steps forward and it eludes the first wave of Wolverines, but Dahlum will just pick up 5 yards to the 37-yard line, and that'll bring up 4th down and 11. And USC is in a circumstance here where they have to go for it. They can't punt the ball away on 4th and 11 inside of the Woodland Hills 36.
Yeah, it definitely looked like a play. They knew they had 2 opportunities to get 17 yards. So they figured, let's see what we can get here on the 3rd down play with a little quick QB draw and then deal with 4th down when it comes.
I misspoke, the ball just inside of the 37, approaching the 36. So again, it's 4th down and 11 as the clock winds to 7 minutes to play in regulation. Dahlum with a sidecar to his right and trips to the right of the formation. He's pressured, he eludes pressure, runs to his left-hand side, settles his feet, throws. It's a 1st down for the Panthers over on that far boundary. With the play breaking down, the Wolverines separated from from their responsibilities, and that allowed Joseph Lackner to sag open at the 20 and catch the football.
But yet again, it's missed tackles. Wolverines I can't even believe how many tackles they've missed tonight, and that's been the story. And if you wrap him up there and you take him down, it's a sack. You get the ball back on a turnover on downs, but yet again, the Wolverines can't do it.
Excellent point. Had the linebacker or defensive lineman, whoever had their sights on Dallum, made the play, it would have been a turnover on downs. Instead, the Panthers have a fresh 4 to work with at the 20-yard line. Dallum running to his left-hand side as the flag will come in, and Dallum steps out of bounds right around the 18-yard line, and a flag's going to go against USC. Holding against the Panthers from the line of scrimmage makes it first down and 20 from the 30.
Yeah, you can see that one coming there, Adam. Panthers had a lot of jersey there, and big opportunity again for the Wolverines. Used a penalty like that on first down on Upper St. Clair. It's going to back them up. You just be aggressive here. They're giving the receivers a lot of room, but you want to be aggressive here and just do what you had success with tonight against Dallum. Get him under pressure and make your tackles.
6:45 to play in regulation. Woodland Hills on top by 3. Panthers with the ball with 6:45 to play. Go to the air on first down and 20, and the pass to the near sideline is complete to Pantelis, and a nice open field tackle by William Chamberlain, the D-back, keeping Pantelis inbounds and bringing him to the ground.
Yeah, still a lot of yardage though on first down, and again, giving them so much space, it gives them the ability to make passes like that and complete passes like that. The Wolverines got to trust their speed and ability here and just get up on these Upper St. Clair Panthers.
Second down and 11 with the ball at the 21-yard line. The line to gain is the 10. Dallum in the shotgun, play action, looks left, throws left, and the pass is incomplete. Looking across the middle went the quarterback, Dallum. He was looking for tight end Daniel Harkerlode, and Harkerlode, the 6'2" H-back, couldn't pull that one in, and it's third down and 11.
Yeah, he had his man there, and it was a pretty nice pass, but just a little too high and out of the reach for the Panthers. And now another big third down and long.
Yeah, 3rd and 11 for USC. They converted on a 4th down and 11 just 3 plays ago. Power pistol for USC as Dallum is pressured, rolling to his left-hand side. Throws to that far boundary, and the pass is complete to Pantelis. He catches it on the run and slides his way all the way down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line, where it's first and goal for USC.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable, these plays that are falling apart. The Wolverines get initial pressure, and then Dallum's able to make something out of nothing, and he just flips it right over the top to Pantelis. And it's just so backbreaking right now for the Wolverines.
Can't take anything away from the way that Ethan Dallum is playing today.
Yeah,
a junior who is just playing lights-out football, making plays happen with his legs and his arm. First and goal at the 3 for the Panthers. Handoff. USC goes to the ground for a rare occasion. And the ball carrier, Luke Banbury, and he has nowhere to go as he's wrapped and brought down, maybe a gain of a yard from the 3 down to the 2. And the clock winds to under 6 minutes to go here, 5.5 approaching here in the 4th quarter. Woodland Hills on top by 3, but the Panthers threatening deep inside of Woodland Hills territory. Dallum steps under center, and he's going to run. He's going to run to his right-hand side, and he'll drive his way for a gain of 1 to the 1. We've seen Dallum with one 1-yard touchdown plunge already today. And now the Wolverines have to come up big here on 3rd down and goal. The Panthers with the ball at the 1-yard line. Dallum takes the snap, drives his way forward. I'll stack up at the goal line. No call from the officials, and now we'll say a touchdown.
Well, no call the entire time, and then Upper St. Clair Panthers get up and start cheering, and then the officials make the call. So interesting how they're just looking at the players making the call based on what the players do. But the Wolverines just absolutely what they could not let happen there, and they've just fallen apart here in the second half.
Now, when the body's on Pio, you can see that the quarterback Dallum is in the end zone. However, really, it took quite a while before the umpire was able to to glance down inside of there and confirm that Dahlem was in the end zone. So our Triangle Bar Grove replay does confirm that that was a touchdown for USC. And Upper St. Clair gets their first lead since the first quarter. 4:55 to play in regulation. Woodland Hills trailing Upper St. Clair 45-41. It's the Wolverines, the Panthers on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Whether you need a new website or want to improve your existing site, Web Landings can serve your needs. Web Landings provides professional, easy-to-maintain websites for businesses, organizations, and individuals. Discover more at weblandings.com and find out how editing your site can be as easy as using a word processor. Plus, we offer 1 year of free hosting for any website developed. Visit weblandings.com today.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Momentum has swung greatly here in Upper St. Clair as Woodland Hills came out of the locker room and took a 10-point lead and turned it into a 17-point lead. But since then, Upper St. Clair has turned the tables and has ripped off 24 straight points and has taking the lead up to 45-41 on top of the Wolverines.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time left. The offense hasn't been able to do much of anything since that opening drive of the second half. But, hey, you know, they're bad circumstances right now with how this has happened, but you are still completely in this game. You have control if you can take this ball down the field and get in the end zone and regain the lead.
I misspoke, not 24 straight points, 31 straight points. 21 straight points for Upper St. Clair, not 31. Math was not my subject. I played football and did broadcasting. As Jeffrey Williams has the ball stripped away, and fortunately for Woodland Hills, as Williams was carrying the ball like a loaf of bread, it was stripped away, and William Clark fell on top of it.
Yeah, nice job by William Clark to be on the spot there and recover the ball. And if you're the Wolverines, you don't have to abandon what has been working for you. You're not totally desperate here. You're not down by 2 possessions. You got plenty of time in 4.5 minutes. It looks like they're playing as if they don't have much time on the clock and they're down by 2 scores, and that's not the case.
Two receivers right, one receiver to the near side left, tight end to the right of the formation as well as Williams in the shotgun. Throws it deep down the middle, and the pass will be intercepted by Pantelis, and he's hit and knocked down at the 50-yard line. And it'll be Panthers' ball inside of their own territory at the 49-yard line, but a costly interception by Jeffrey Williams as he put up a jump ball.
Yeah, like I said, Adam, there was no reason to do that. You know, you're running the ball well with William Clark, and if anything's going right in this half, it's running the ball with William Clark. And there was no reason to abandon that. You know, the offensive line had some time to rest. They were on the sideline, and you just right away you call 2 plays that, you know, Wolverines, that's not their cream of the crop. You know, you want to go to your feature back in William Clark, and now possibly just gave the game away.
And Vince Russo, you said in our ears, the Upper St. Clair Panthers just had their ears pinned back, and they were coming after the Wolverines full force.
Yeah, Adam, like sharks in the water, they smelled blood, and I tell you what, we talked about the body language earlier, things like that. Eric, I think you hit the nail right on the head. The Wolverines almost kind of looked defeated before they got onto the field, and that's really a shame because they've done so much right tonight. They've put so much out there on the field that we haven't seen in the first 3 weeks of the season, and so a huge costly turnover there. No telling whether or not they'll be able to get a stop here. But so many positive takeaways, and unfortunate to see that body language. But those are things that can be worked on. That attitude can be worked on. And we see that there are definitely some things here. It's a foundation to work on. And lest we not forget, this program started 0-4 last season before being one of the most dangerous outs in the playoffs going down. And obviously that's a long way to roll. But my point being, yes, the Upper St. Clair defense pinning those ears back. And my goodness, are they swarming to the football, much akin to the way that we saw the Wolverines do it in the first half. So really a tale of 2 halves, Adam.
Undoubtedly, and really a tale of the last quarter and a half. You know, Woodland Hills came out of the locker room and they punched the Panthers right in the mouth, Vince and Eric. they just came out and drove the ball down the field, took the lead to 41-24, a 17-point advantage for the second time today. But since then, Upper St. Clair has taken advantage of Woodland Hills' miscues, and the Wolverines have hung their heads in the process, and Upper St. Clair has been able to rip off 21 straight points to take the lead to 45-41, and they have the ball with the opportunity to kill the clock.
That's been the story of the half.
Dahlem the ball carry to the near sideline where he's pulled out of bounds by Taiwan Milton.
Yeah, things really changed here, Adam, when that fumble happened after the Wolverines forced that turnover on downs right with their backs against their own goal line. The fumble by the Wolverines, and then everything changed after that for Woodland Hills.
Yeah, and really the thing was that Upper St. Clair had the momentum. They felt like they were getting back into the game, and then they turned it over on downs. They were dejected, and then they got their hearts back into it because of a miscue by the Wolverines, because Deontay Williams lost the football. Shovel pass again, and wrapped and brought down back inside of Panthers territory is the receiver Pantelis. And Pantelis had his collar grabbed, but he wasn't pulled down by it, so I guess in that circumstance the referee says not horse collar. There'll be a loss of a couple of yards, and that brings up 3rd down and 9.
Yeah, Upper St. Clair Panthers fans just a little bit upset that I guess Pantelis was taken down hard there.
And Jeffrey Williams, or rather Josh Rawlings, cleaned up the play afterwards and really brought Pantelis down to the turf hard. 3:20 to play as a high snap, but it's gathered in a big gap for Dahlem, and he'll take off up the gut. He'll bring the ball inside of the 45 to the 44-yard line, and a Wolverine shaken up. No, check that. That's Dahlem who appeared to be shaken up. And Woodland Hills is going to take a timeout here, and a smart timeout, because it's a circumstance where they can make a defensive adjustment, hopefully get the turnover on downs. It also makes Upper St. Clair think, are we going to punt the ball or not? Timeout on the field, we'll step away too. Woodland Hills down by 4. It's the Wolverines and the Panthers on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home has been serving families in the Woodland Hills community since 1905 and is a member of the Hall of Excellence of the National Funeral Directors Association. Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home now offers crematory services at their Turtle Creek location. Families choosing cremation can have added peace of mind, knowing that their loved one never leaves the care of Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home. For nearly 115 years, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home has been honored to serve local families and to be a proud partner of the Woodland Hills communities.
Punt unit on for the Panthers on 4th down and 3, and they will boot this one away. And a sky-high punt that will carry down inside of the 5-yard line, and what a beautiful punt that drops dead inside of the 5. The way that punt was going in the air, I thought it was going to bounce and carry right into the end zone, but somehow it had enough English on it for Ethan Heister's punt to drop dead inside of the 5 and the Panthers to down it at the 3.
Yeah, you know, when you got things going your way, just, you know, everything seems to go your way. And Upper St. Clair, that's how it's been so far. Just even a punt like that, you think Woodland Hills maybe will be able to get out with the touchback there, but unfortunately, Woodland Hills will start from their own 3-yard line.
So just under 3 minutes to go, and Woodland Hills 97 yards away from reclaiming the lead. These are the types of drives you can build a season on. Wolverines with twins to either side. Jeffrey Williams takes the low snap, throws to his right-hand side, finds Armani Bailey. Bailey out into open field across the 20, across the 25, still on his feet across the 30, and steps out of bounds near the 35-yard line.
Yeah, the blocking came through there for the Wolverines, and Armani Bailey also with his speed and agility able to make a nice play and get the Wolverines out of the shadow of their own end zone, which was key there.
Official says that Bailey's first stepped out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Still a big play for the Woodland Hills Wolverines, covering 28 yards out to that 31-yard line. And the Wolverines get out of the shadow of their own end zone in the air, and Bailey gets out of bounds, which stops the clock. Twins again to either side. Williams in the shotgun. Motion man from right to left is Bailey. They'll go against the grain and hand off to William Clark, who lowers his shoulders and picks up just 2 yards.
Yeah, not much doing there. You know, there's always a chance that William Clark can break one, So that, if you're going to try it, that was probably the time. But now stuck in a second 8 and with the clock rolling, I think you got to get a little bit more creative here.
Twins right, 2 receivers, run to the near side, left as well. Rawlings, the split to the near side. Jet sweep, Bailey running right to left, cutting back across the grain. Bursts into open field as he has the first down, dancing his way across the 45 to the 46-yard line, and it's another first down for Woody High.
Yeah, great job by Armani Bailey there. It looked like he may be taken down in the backfield, but yet again, showing his skill and with a great juke move there, right around the 44-yard line, getting it up over the 45 to the 46.
Just over 2 minutes to go. Again, Williams is in the shotgun. Bailey runs right to left. Wolverines play action on the end around, and now Jeffrey Williams carries it into Panthers territory inside of the 50, brought down at the 45-yard line, a yard shy of the first down flag.
Yeah, and a great job by Jeffrey Williams there, keeping his legs moving. Now into Upper St. Clair territory at the 45-yard line, hustling back to the sideline to get that play from Coach Tim Bostard, and now back into the huddle with 1:36 remaining.
Receivers, 2 to either side. Williams in the shotgun, sidecar to his left. Williams throws to his left-hand side, finds Armani Bailey again. He's got the first down inside of the 40, brought down at the 39-yard line.
Yeah, almost able to slip through those last couple tacklers, the Panthers, but nonetheless, still a nice throw and catch there by Williams to Armani Bailey. Now as we go under a minute 20, ball inside the 40.
Williams in the shotgun, Twins right. 2 receivers split to the near side left. Armani Bailey takes the end around, coming from right to left, cuts his way up the field, brought down shy of the 35 at the 36-yard line. A gain of just 3, and Tim Bostard's going to use his final timeout.
Yeah, I think that was wise there. If you don't have a no-huddle offense to use, I think you have to use the timeout there.
Stoppage on the field, but we are going to keep it here with 57 seconds to play. Woodland Hills driving on the Panthers. Upper St. Clair has scored 21 unanswered points to turn a Woodland Hills lead of 17 to a Woodland Hills deficit of 4. We're going to send it down to the field. Vince Russo, what's the feeling down there as things are getting tense between these two teams?
I'll tell you what, you can cut the tension with a knife. We got a game, guys. This is great down here. And I'll tell you what, if I'm the old ball coach over there on Woodland Hills sidelines, I'm dumping a pump fake real quick there to the right on those swing screen passes, and I'm sending Armani Bailey deep, trying to hit him for a home run game winner right here. We'll see what they cook up here, but they got 36 yards to go with 57 seconds, so they got to be thinking downfield quick. And this Upper St. Clair secondary is going to be trying to ball hawk, so we got ourselves quite a finish.
One receiver left, 2 to the far side right. Williams is in the shotgun, and it looks like the receiver on the near side, Tariq Scipio, left early.
Crucial time, and you can't be doing that here. Cannot lose yardage, and that's what the Wolverines are going to do. It's going to push them back.
So a 5-yard penalty will push Woodland Hills back to the Upper St. Clair 41-yard line. This drive starting at the Woodland Hills 3. The Wolverines have moved the ball extremely efficiently over the last minute and a half. Twins right, 1 receiver left. Williams in the shotgun, sidecar to his right. Williams throws to his left, finds Scipio, who couldn't hang on to it. It slipped through his hands and down to the turf, incomplete, and that brings up 3rd down and a dozen.
Yeah, he had his man. He had Scipio open there and just could not hold on, and that's a tough one there. It probably would have been a first down for the Wolverines, and it would have stopped the clock, too, for momentarily as they had to reset the chains, but doesn't go that way, and the Wolverines will have 2 chances here to get this yardage and hopefully keep this game alive.
Ball at the Panthers' 41-yard line. Twins right, 1 receiver left. Low snap. Williams brings it in. He's pressured. He rolls to his right-hand side, and he throws the football. It's deflected, and I'm not sure why the Woodland Hills offensive lineman would try to dive and catch that ball. If he catches it in that circumstance, the clock continues to run.
Right, and it's the last thing they want, and it would have pushed him back even further, too. So hopefully Wolverines can pull through some magic here on this 4th and long and keep the game alive. I might see a timeout here by Upper St. Clair.
The Upper St. Clair is going to use the timeout as Woodland Hills faces a 4th down and a dozen. We saw the Panthers in a very pivotal circumstance in the 4th quarter convert on a 4th down. Can Woodland Hills do it here in a more pivotal circumstance for them, preventing them from going 0-4 on the season?
Yeah, it all comes down to this. This is a 4th and long. We're going to see what Coach Tim Bostard opts to do here. It's, you got some options, but they haven't gone to Rawlings all game. If you're going to do it any time, now might be the time. He's so physical. He's possibly the most athletic player on the field. Now might be the time to go to him.
And it may be a situation where you put Armani Bailey and Rawlings on the same side. You throw you pump the hitch to Armani Bailey and then throw it deep to Rawlings.
Oh, that would be great. If the Upper St. Clair Panthers bite on that and you have Rawlings open, that could be the game.
Well, let's hope it is. We're going to see on 4th down and a dozen for the Wolverines down on the field, the ball at the Upper St. Clair 41-yard line. 46 seconds to play. Woodland Hills, 4th down and 12 at the USC 41. Twins to either side. Williams is in the shotgun. Catches the low shotgun snap and tries to toss it off to William Clark on the screen pass, and the pass was short. Jeffrey Williams could not connect. The screen pass was set up perfectly, but Williams just couldn't complete the pass.
Yeah, tough break there for Woody High. Had he been able to get that ball to Clark, with William Clark having the ball in his hands, you never know what can happen. It would have been tough for him to go all the way for a 1st down there. Had some Panthers converging in on him, but nonetheless, just such a heartbreaker for Woodland Hills tonight, as they're going to walk away with this game, a loss here, and drop to 0-4.
Yeah, the Wolverines, the offensive line did a great job. They set up the screen well. The shoulder shivered, just not quite enough by Clark, but had Williams floated it over the head of Harkelode, the defensive end, Clark may have been able to catch that one, and he had some blockers out in front of him. Would have been touch and go, but it would have been close. And instead, Upper St. Clair turns the Wolverines over on downs after scoring 21 unanswered points to defeat the Wolverines 45-41.
Yeah, sadly, you could see it coming. It's just unfortunate, but it seems to happen so often to the Wolverines, and they just lose control in the second half, and a loss like this is tough, but they lost very similarly last year at Upper St. Clair. Had a chance to hit a game-winning field goal. It was partially blocked at the Wolverino. Wolverines walked away with a loss in that game, but then they came back to make the playoffs. As Vince mentioned, they were a big threat in the playoffs. Hopefully they can gather themselves and do something similar this year.
Well, Eric, all is not lost by any stretch of the imagination. This is by far the best offensive performance we've seen by the Woodland Hills Wolverines this season, regardless of the outcome.
Yeah, so much promise from tonight, Adam. The Wolverines played so hard. They really fell apart defensively in the second half and even a little bit offensively, but there's so much you can take from this game, and there's still so much season left that you can't just give up.
Wolverines fall to the Upper St. Clair Panthers by a final score of 45-41. We're going to transition into the Woodland Hills Football Network post-game show here on the Woodland Hills Football Network. Adam Gusky, Eric Schuley, Vince Russo down on the field. Post-game coverage comes up in just a moment, right here on your home of Woodland Hills football.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com. The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale has recently been named among the 33 best sandwich shops in America. But folks in the Woodland Hills communities have known that for over 80 years. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're sure to love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now. Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home has been serving families in the Woodland Hills community since 1905 and is a member of the Hall of Excellence of the National Funeral Directors Association. Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home now offers crematory services at their Turtle Creek location. Families choosing cremation can have added peace of mind, knowing that their loved one never leaves the care of Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home. For nearly 115 years, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home has been honored to serve local families and to be a proud partner of the Woodland Hills communities. Woodland Hills football is brought to you in part by the law offices of Owen Seaman. Owen is a Woodland Hills alumnus who studied law at Duquesne University and has been practicing law in the Pittsburgh area for over 15 years. Attorney Owen Seaman's experience encompasses virtually every facet of criminal defense. If you find yourself in need of criminal defense representation, call Owen at 412-721-0412 or visit OwenTheLawyer.com.
Excella Health wants to know, how can we help you today? Can we help you find a doctor? Schedule a same-day appointment. Choose just the right service for your health concern? As your healthcare partner, Excella offers hundreds of primary care and specialty doctors, along with outpatient testing, rehab, and nationally recognized heart care, surgery, and orthopedics. To learn more, visit excellahealth.org or call 1-877-771-1234.
Tired of a dirty car? Mr. Magic Car Wash will have your vehicle looking new again in just minutes, even those tough-to-clean wheels. Try us out at any one of our 5 convenient South Hills locations for a car wash you won't soon forget.
Mr. Magic Car Wash, clean, shiny, and dry every time.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
And we welcome you back here at Upper St. Clair High School as the Wolverines fall to the Upper St. Clair Panthers 45-41. Adam Gusky alongside Eric Shuley. Vince Russo making his way up from the field to the broadcast booth for our post-game coverage. And the Wolverines allow Upper St. Clair to rip off 21 unanswered points here in half number 2. And they fall to the Panthers 45-41. Absolutely a heartbreaker, Eric Shuley.
Yeah, there's nothing else you can say, Adam, really. It was a heartbreaker. You know, there were a number of things the Wolverines did right, but there were just a number of things that they did wrong. So many missed tackles in that second half. There's so many things you can point to on both sides of the ball that went wrong, but at the same time, there's so much that you have never seen this year that came out, and so many positive things that those kids they can't hang their heads. They got to hold them high and come back next week tough against Baldwin, because they did some really, really great things on that field tonight.
Yeah, Vince, this was by far the most encouraging performance we've seen from Woodland Hills. We saw flashes of their ability throughout the first 3 weeks of the season, but especially offensively today, the most consistent game we've seen.
Hey, we saw them start off the game with a long pass downfield for a touchdown, and ultimately it was the passing game that is the thing that just needs to come along a little bit more. They were cooking there on that drive, but they ran out of time, and we saw when they had to go to a strictly pass-first offense, it was outside of that comfort zone. They are a run-first team. When you fall behind late, that can't be an option. So if the team can build leads early, build momentum early, and vary the offensive options that they have, could be some good stuff cooking for the Wolverines moving forward.
Woodland Hills had a 10-point lead at halftime. They came out of the locker room. They scored first as they drove the ball from their own 15 all the way down the field and into the end zone. They took it. They took the lead back to 17 points for the second time today. However, Upper St. Clair cut the lead down to 10 at the quarter break, and then they scored 14 points in the fourth quarter to take the lead on Woodland Hills 45-41, and the Wolverines just couldn't get any offense going when they had a couple of opportunities. And Upper St. Clair, when they had their opportunities with the ball, they were able to kill some clock.
Yeah, they took advantage of some bad plays by the Wolverines, but again, the Wolverines did so many things right, and there's so much to build on here, and they showed a lot of heart there too, which was something that we haven't seen much of in those first couple games.
We are going to step away, and when we return, it'll be time for our post-game superlatives as Woodland Hills falls to Upper St. Clair 45-41. You're tuned in to the Wolverines and the Panthers on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Life has its ups and downs. There are times when you or a loved one needs help. That's why you should know the name LGAR, Health and Rehabilitation Center. Located just minutes from the Monroeville Mall, the LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center has been known by locals for many years, and they excel in reputation, rehabilitation, recuperation, and residential living. The help and answers you need are just a phone call away at 412-825-9000. Also on the web at lgar.org. LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, a name you should know and a name you can trust.
Bush Brothers Car Care Center in Swissvale has been a Monongahela Avenue institution for 4 decades. Bush Brothers is a full-service mechanic and tire shop for all types of vehicles. Whether you need mechanical work, an alignment, state inspection and emissions testing, new tires, or just an oil change, Bush Brothers is the place for you. Bush Brothers Car Care Center, Monongahela Avenue in Swissvale, or give Martin and Jason a call at 412-351-5342.
LG3 Entertainment is a first-class disc jockey and karaoke entertainment company that serves the Pittsburgh and surrounding areas. They offer a wide range of music entertainment for weddings, anniversaries, school dances, corporate events, and more. They also offer beautiful chair cover linen rentals to give your event the elegance it deserves. They offer many more services, so go to their website today and see why so many choose LG3 Entertainment for the best in family fun entertainment.
Fox's Pizza Den in Turtle Creek is the official pizza of the Wolverina and has been a family tradition since 1971. Fox's Pizza also features tasty appetizers, fresh salads, as well as mouth-watering hoagies and sandwiches. Fox's Pizza in Turtle Creek is conveniently located in Penn Plaza, so stop in to pick up lunch or dinner or call to place your delivery order now at 412-823-9960. From our den to your den, it's Fox's Pizza Den in Turtle Creek.
Whether you need a new website or want to improve your existing site, Web Landings can serve your needs. Web Landings provides professional, easy-to-maintain websites for businesses, organizations, and individuals. Discover more at weblandings.com and find out how editing your site can be as easy as using a word processor. Plus, we offer 1 year of free hosting for any website developed. Visit weblandings.com today.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Woodland Hills falls to Upper St. Clair by a final score of 45-41, 21 unanswered points by the Upper St. Clair Panthers in the late third quarter and into the fourth quarter. Adam Gusky alongside of Eric Shuley and Vince Russo joining us from the sidelines as the Wolverines fall, and we're now in our post-game coverage. It's time to talk about some of our post-game superlatives, and one obvious player today for our State Senator Jay Costa player of the game is Jeffrey Williams, the quarterback, who had 2 big touchdown runs combined with a touchdown pass today, and you combine that with a couple of defensive plays also.
Yeah, he has emerged this year as such a huge player for the Wolverines. You know, coming in, playing quarterback, doing a wonderful job in so many aspects of the game, especially on the defensive side of the ball as well. Made some huge plays for Woodland Hills today. Wasn't quite enough, but just did so much. Fought back from that injury, too, and got back on that field. He was hustling so much at the end of that game, too.
Yeah, I thought he orchestrated the offense well, took a step forward in keeping the rhythm, dispersing the ball to a myriad of options throughout the game, and I thought between the play calling and his execution, it was a great offensive performance.
And really what I thought was impressive about Jeffrey Williams is on both of his touchdown runs, we really were able to see everything that he has in his arsenal, whether it's speed, strength, elusiveness. He showed them all on the 12-yard touchdown run as well as on the big 44-yard touchdown run that put Woodland Hills ahead in this football game. Unfortunately, they weren't able to hang on to that lead, allowing Upper St. Clair to score 21 unanswered points and winning this football game 45-41. And when we talk about Jeffrey Williams, he's also part of our Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home play of the game. That 78-yard touchdown pass as he found Tariq Scipio down the left-hand side, and then Scipio got separation from the D-back and took it to the house.
Yeah, he looked so relaxed back there. He didn't panic. He found Scipio open, made a great toss, showed off that arm strength, and Scipio really a great job holding on to that ball. At first, it really did not look like he'd be able to even track it down, but he showed his speed, and he showed his ability to be able to hold on to the ball, and just a great catch and touchdown by the Wolverines there.
Yeah, it's hard to put into words how tough it is to catch those over the shoulder, kind of an awkward angle. Him being able to bring that in, absorb the contact, keep the ball, and then turn on the burners after that, it really was an impressive play.
And that was our Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home play of the game, that 78-yard touchdown pass from Williams to Scipio. Well, your final thoughts on this game, Eric?
Well, there's a lot you could say about this game, Adam, but overall, you know, the Wolverines, just like I said, they can't hang their heads. They did so much right in this game. You know, oftentimes you see the momentum shift completely in the second half in any game, and no matter what you do, a team can come out so hard and have a different game plan. It looks like that's what Upper St. Clair did. They changed things up a bit, caught the Wolverines, you know, off a little bit, put them on their heels, and they were able to come out with a win, but Woodland Hills just had such a rough start to the year in those first 3 games, and this was so much different, and this is the game they have to build on moving forward.
Yeah, I agree completely, and I think it all revolves around the passing game on both sides of the ball. Got to be able to get the ball downfield quickly, as we saw tonight was the difference in them not being able to kind of cross that finish line and get that first win. And on the other side, we saw, again, some miscues from the secondary where guys getting sucked in, guys making just simple mistakes that need to be cleared up in the first couple weeks of the season. Hopefully moving forward, they're able to correct that and avoid some of those big plays that ended up being the difference tonight.
Well, Woodland Hills again falls to the Upper St. Clair Panthers 45-41 as the Panthers rip off 21 unanswered points in the late third quarter and into the fourth to defeat Woodland Hills for the second year in a row. Next week, Woodland Hills takes on the Baldwin Highlanders, and we will have the coverage for you right here on the Woodland Hills Football Network starting right around 10 minutes until 7 o'clock. Eric Shuley and Vince Russo will be on the call for that one from Baldwin. For my broadcast partner, Eric Shuley, and our on-field reporter, Vince Russo, I'm Adam Gusky, and on behalf of our entire crew, we bid you a very fond farewell, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Today's broadcast of Wolverine football was presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network and the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Wolverine football is also brought to you by the Triangle Barn Grill, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, the law offices of Owen Seaman, LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, Fox's Pizza Den in Turtle Creek, Bush Brothers Car Care, LG3 Entertainment, Web Landings, and A-Boss Opticians. This broadcast has been a presentation of A.W. Gusky Productions and LG3 Entertainment. Copyright 2019.